Warning, this show uses explicit language and adult topics. And just in case you needed the reminder, you are about to hear a comedy show, or at least an attempt at one. So without further ado and further introductions, let's get disappointing.
Well, if you don't like my show, don't curse your radio. You know that no one likes my company anyway. But if you listen closely and talk intelligently, then maybe you can be a disappointment.
Owen, if you're listening, this first culture shock is dedicated to you for a lot of different reasons, but mainly only because it's a more current song and I don't want to bore you away immediately with the culture shocks. Don't worry, the second one's going to be older. We live to disappoint, just like everyone else. So please enjoy Supply by Wiz Khalifa and Nipsey Phipps. If you have any other questions, feel free to fucking not ask. Please enjoy.
Yeah. Phil. Bone snaps and crane kicks, divine intervention. I was put her to change shit. By hook or crook, a castle draped up in the same fit. Been rocking it for days now and willing till the pay stop. See, there's no dinner or winner for second place, huh? Yeah, that's what I figured, so I handle my business. Confidentiality on my plans to get richer. Then I master my role as my plan unfold. Right moves, make sure the left hand don't know. Words from a wiser predecessor, never let up. I know how to spot a fool, cause they never shut up. If you speak it, you don't know it. You know it, you don't speak it. Can't feel me if you put your vertebrae on the speakers. See, you got the beat and you're not on you. I get high at Chong on Bones and California. Catch me in your local cool spots, Catacorner. Virgin to the earth, round at that aroma. For those inquisitive, scoop close to the fifths of bed. I invite you to get higher than what you've experienced.
There's some who think they smoke, but we stay higher. And some think they get fly, but we get flyer. Ain't looking for the plane, we done cruise right by ya. Smell what I smoke, they ask me if I supply, I say no. It's everywhere we go. Woke up in the morning, some ashes in the sink, couple drinks we was pouring in. My niggas sleep, bitches rolling weed while I'm yawning. It's just a routine after a night of performing. I turn the hotel into a polo party, making the megs with cheese, let them smoke so much weed, them hoes think we in the 70s. Big dog, better pedigree, she in this king size bed with me. Give her space, boy, I let her breathe. And I mean that technically. Roll up the trees like my weed grown medically. Less of the seeds, niggas still got the hating disease when actually they know. Bite or bark, fight or heart. I'ma keep rolling trees, nigga, light or spark. Taylor in my walk, karate in my talk. Now that's gangster. There's some who think they smoke, but we stay higher. And some think they get fly, but we get flyer. Ain't looking for the planes, we done cruise right by ya. Smell what I smoke, they ask me if I supply, I say no. It's everywhere we go.
That simple little beat is why I love that song, and it's also why I love Owen me a sentence to get this fucking next bit out. I love Owen because he's fucking funny, he's sweet, and he's simple, and he's just a very down-to-earth person, and he has a very calming, smooth voice, so why not start off the beat that way? But then let's confuse you when we get all excited like we do in the show with an older gangster rap that's a little more aggressive. So please enjoy Biggie Smalls' I'm With It, collaboration with multiple artists, but they don't list the names because really the most important one on it is the motherfucking B.I.G. So why don't you suck on this D-I-C-K and enjoy the next song. Please enjoy.
You ain't nothing but everything. You ain't nothing but every man I know is all you're gonna be is you ain't nothing but you ain't nothing but
in the courtroom, takes the stairs, Nagelbush, positive the madman. All stand guilty as charged, and the only alibi is all men and dogs.
That's one. So now you want the madman to hit you on the first date. Just like Dre, I'm up in ya. But check your girlfriend, cause she's stressing the shorty forehead brown skin who's out to live naughty by nature. Having no behavior, giving you what you say for. Making bitches wanna taste the flavor of the Jimmy. Knowing they can't fit me, trying to get with me. Swallowing everything that's in me. But that's alright because summer to summer. Madman sure lays pipe just like a plumber. Buying rough riders by the dozen. I'm sticking your best friend, sister, mother, cousin.
I know what I am, I know my place, and that's a fact. Why you think I always wanna hit you from the back on all fours? I got you on your paws. I never in my life heard so much. Oh Lord, yo, you call me a hound 'cause I get around like Tupac. What's the beef if I wanna get my boots knocked? I'm barking on chicks, I'm stuffing dicks and female hounds. That's how I get down. Hey yo, snag, I can never be a fag. My dick is like a split chick, always wanna take a drag. But now I'm on trial with a bunch of bitches trying to send me up on the owl. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I confess, I start to get stressed when I see your tight dress. One night each to get bounced in, I'm even, but for now off with your shirt. I'm licking titties. For Valentine's Day ain't my time of the year. Say you like Italians, get the fuck out of here now. Run tell your wife and your daughter. Red bandit in the night hawks and takes her to the water. Snaggle plus this position's ridiculous is what the chicks say when I tickle their clitoris. I'm nasty, baby. Yeah, you know, so sit down and lick me down real low.
I put your R in the Roni. Now that's a real to a phony. Give a bitch dick and give a hip since you're phony. It's not the fact I'm conceited that your womb gets treated, beat it upon my ceiling posturepedic. Barbara Streisand couldn't tell you the way we were, 'cause I just figure her as if I was Caligula. I smother the butt like gravy, and I'ma sing a song to your lady and they go like this. They go, baby, I got you, baby. I said, baby, I got you.
Hello, boo. Yes, I'm scheming on what I'm singing, and I'm fiending to give you a gut full of semen. The hurricane holler splits that ass like Moses did the sea. It's just a pit bull in me. Now it's off with your shirt. It won't hurt, but it'll tickle. I'll be sucking nipples like my man Fred be sucking ripple from the bottle. Slow up. You're not Russell White Rush. I'll def jam you from the back and turn you red, man. I'll slide behind Jamaican wine, rubber dub like R. Kelly. We can bump and grind. And when I'm through, I won't brag a both. I just grab my coat. She screams, praise the Lord, Holy Ghost. In the courtroom, takes the stand, and the Raggedy Man. All stand guilty as charged. The only alibi is all men are dogs.
Call me the Raggedy Man of the Gravity Band. I drop a midnight vibe without a strategy plan. 'Cause people sipping off my style 'cause it's more fat than Similac. With the straw sticking through the missing two caps. It's hardly understandable how smoking weed can turn me to an animal and make me eat pussy like a cannibal. But for the ones living in serenity, I keep a ski mask on my dick around before your damn virginity. You're sleeping with the enemy 'cause the Jacksons are fatal. I give young girls the blues when my hand rocks the cradle. It's start to dream of fucking Marcia Brady when I'm high and wake up singing na-na-na-na-na-na.
Your daddy, you got a thick 12 inches of dick for all your whole cakes. When I just biz them, I drop jizz like snowflakes. And now I got you talking a lot. I'm knocking your twat and whatnot. Getting you hot, 'cause baby, I got sperm. That jingle, jangle, jingle. Free and single, let's mingle. See, when they come to fucking, I don't play. When I slap me to them butt cheeks, freaks be like, hey. 'Cause I'ma give it to you like a Mac with a kick and a smack. Lay you down and dig a hole through your back. And when I finish ripping them guts, bitch, you can get the almonds, cashews, pecans, nuts. Glorious in the sack, hit skins from the back. Put my thumb up in the ass crack. Brooklyn freaky nigga with the most stuff. I'm Jesus Pops, Mary just blamed Joseph. You should see her drink the semen. She suck a mean one. Even them three apostles were scheming. See when big fuck a bitch, big duck a bitch, quick fast. Dick to ass, don't hesitate to split fast. You know what's up, here's a quarter and a buck. My steps is kinda freaky, try not to wake my mom's up. 'Cause when I bust, I lick shots like a shotty. That's why nut is lifting all over your body.
Ain't no motherfucking shame in the game. See, I love to hit the state box. One whip for the ass, turns my dick into a hard rock. Then I wrap it up before you held the place where to call you. I tear that ass up and take a bath of Muslim oil. Then it's ABC, your nuts over with. Go and find some prison, then I'm back up in some other shit. Shorties constantly ask, what's wrong with me? But every time I see a piece of ass, they keep calling me. 'Cause it ain't no Jimmy like the one I got. Grand Poobah 6, you better. I tear shit apart, rock her ass till she fought, tie her stomach
stop being a...
How should I say disappointing? Usually when I start the show, I'll say something like I'll say the disappointing radio show, but I'll try to change the voice, and I do a lot of different impressions. So I should let you try to give me like what's an impression. Jesus. You're fine. We're not starting yet. I just usually I just get it. I get the mic going that way. Because I'll just edit this out later, or I won't, or I'll suck a dick. It don't matter. But I'm just trying to think of how I should introduce the show.
Can I scoot back a little bit?
Yeah, you can scoot back just a little bit.
Sweet.
Yeah, alright. Just make sure you talk like calmly and loud. I usually place people beside the mics because they end up getting drunk with me and then not talking a lot. We say drunk instead of you know what.
Right.
So, how should I say this morning? I always say it there's so many different ways to say words. That's why I'm like, what's your favorite like accent? Like.
How about All Might? Could you do All Might?
I am here to say that the Disappointing radio show is fucking back.
Yeah.
And this is the Disappointing radio show. I am DJ Dissappointment, your probably least favorite show in the world, but you keep coming back, and you keep skipping through my music breaks, so why do I keep putting them in? No one will ever know. Update. Nobody has class. Everybody's just dicking around. They're either farting, faffing, or foofing. And as I keep goofing, I'm going to introduce the first guest. So, I didn't even introduce, so you'll say your name. The guests always introduce themselves. So, in chair 1 is...
Owen Measel.
And then this is the show. We talk like normal. Everything just like how we were talking like earlier before the show recorded. And we'll go in there again in between and fucking, talk and whatever.
I don't know if I'll need that.
Well, yeah, we'll see. It's usually offered that I have moonshine. It's by the window, but there's not a lot left. So I got Patron. So if you want to be Patron, you can have some Patron on the fucking top shelf, which is fucking hilarious.
I'll be alright.
Not a Patron man.
No.
Yeah, my last guest was all about it. He grew up in Richmond, and he was like, "Oh my god, I love Patron. How did you know?" And I'm like, "I just know you, dude."
No, I can't do tequila much anymore.
It's just vile.
Yeah.
It's just poison. What about it makes your skin crawl and your neck tingle and your shoulders?
And it doesn't mix very well.
Shoulders
with
roll. You're like, ugh. What is about this poison that is gonna kill me?
Although margaritas are the shit.
Is that
tequila?
I have no idea.
Okay, well
I'm not a drinker.
Well, me neither. So.
But I do get drunk for this show just because it's fun to get inebriated with the guests.
Right.
I like drunk history. I think that's a good example of using alcohol in a positive way. Because I'm not really a big advocate for alcohol.
No,
but
me neither.
I think that's a good example of using alcohol in a fun way, telling stories in a controlled environment. Maybe they get sick and barf, but those are fucking funny moments that you capture.
Controlled environment is the best word.
It's a good word for that. That's why people go to legal states and then go to these like cafes or hotels that are specifically made now to like help cater to trips. So it's good environments and it's good like set up for, hilarity in my opinion. Just you're like, hi, my name's Brighton, and it's like, hi, my name's George, and you're both just in different universes of weird and just shooting lasers in different directions and just be like, oh, Jesus Christ.
It's Jason Bourne.
Do you have a good party story from middle school? Because you can talk about anything in the past. Do you have a good party story from like high school or middle school or like college that you maybe went to and it was just insane or saw some funny ass shit?
Yeah. I have this pretty cool night. Me and my friends were out drinking and we went out to WO's.
Okay.
And
local hotspot.
Yeah, local hotspot. And there's a Waffle House right across the street. So one of my friends was off what we call a sidewalk slammer, and that's a 40. You drink half of it and then pour a Four Loko into it.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's gross, grotesque.
Ugh.
and he took some shots at WOs. So
Ugh.
he was just belligerent.
You've killed this man.
Yeah. No, he's killed himself. So he's at WOs, and he's a senior this year, so he doesn't really give any fucks.
No.
And he puked at WOs, and he got kicked out, snuck back in, got kicked out again.
Yes.
Walked across the street to Waffle House.
Okay.
Then sat at a random table. Yeah. And one of my teammates saw him there outside in the parking lot after he walked out without paying.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He walked out without paying?
Yeah, somebody
What
got
a
his
piece
bill.
of shit.
No, somebody got his bill.
Oh.
Yeah, somebody got his bill.
Okay,
so
that's
we're
nice. Never mind.
Um,
We're redacted.
yeah.
Good guy, I guess. So he
and-
leaves.
Yeah, he leaves, and my buddy is walking/running with him because he says that he keeps taking off and sprinting ahead of him, being like, dude, catch the fuck up.
Dude,
You know?
you're so slow.
Yeah,
It's
like,
just drunk energy who just wants to do something fun. And he's
Exactly.
like, even walking could be exciting. It's like, hey, drunk guy, I'm tired.
exactly.
Reel it back.
So, and one time, I guess this dude just trips and falls and basically does a soccer knee slide on the sidewalk.
Oh my god.
So the guy that takes him home, he gets him all, ready to go to bed, washed up and shit. And this guy's drunk as fuck too.
Yeah.
And my buddy says that he wakes up with two little ass bandages over his knee, and it's sheets stuck to his
Jesus.
knee.
Sheets?
Yeah,
Like the
'cause-
blood had stuck while he
Right,
was
because
sleeping.
the fucking scab was the size of his
Ah! You had to
And-
rip the sheet off.
knee, and he fucking just had one little ass band-aid. That's all that drunk kid did.
Oh, he's like, this is all you need.
Yeah, and then he just fucking put his blanket over it, and it
He was like,
fucking...
blank. He did one. No, he was probably drunk. Put one Band-Aid on. And he was like, this is gonna take a lot of Band-Aids or one blanket.
Yeah.
And then he was just like, I'll deal with this in the morning, and that's exactly what he did.
Yep.
Jesus Christ, that's a sentence.
Mhm.
I remember once. So we were at the province. This was a couple years ago, and we were upstairs, and there was a party downstairs, and what we call the swamp, which is where everybody like had parties at the fucking province in the Brain State, like baseball players' apartment.
Okay.
So I hear the calamity, and I'm like, what's going on down there? So I walk down, and all these baseball players are like, Marcus! Because that's what they fucking knew me as, was Marcus, which I was like, I'm not even going to fucking go into. So I go down there, and they're like, dude, we need a sub! And I'm like a sandwich? And he was like, no, like a player. And I'm like, for what? And he's like, what are you guys doing? And he goes, this is the Beer Olympics. And I'm like, what's the Beer Olympics? He goes, once a year we do this big-ass beer games, and this team needs another player because one guy dropped. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know these guys. I don't know if they can keep up. And they were like, like, all right, fine. So the first game is the first one I get thrown into. We each of a team start with a milk jug that had been emptied out and filled with beer each. Okay?
Jesus Christ.
A team is supposed to finish it.
How many
Now,
on a team?
usually 4, but our team, to my knowledge, had 3.
Jesus.
This is an
Alright.
issue.
Yeah, that's a kind of.
So, first guy goes, he gets like 1/3 of the jug. So I'm like,
Oh my.
maybe not even that. Like a little bit less than 1/3. So there's
Yeah.
still quite a bit way to go.
Right,
So I'm
right.
like, damn, dude, alright. So I put it, so the next guy goes, because I'm last and I didn't want to fuck this up because it's important. He gets like, good, like a sip. So I'm like, fuck you, dude.
Wait, then you have to finish all of it, or can
No, you
pass
keep
it
going
back?
until
Okay.
it's done.
Oof.
So I look at this guy, I'm like, you're one of those. So you're not going to be any help from us. Great. So I put it to my lips. I probably get it down to like, at least, I take half of that, at least. And I mean, I'm taking a lot of liquid on it. I don't even drink beer. So I give it to the next guy. I'm like, okay. He takes like one sip. The guy next takes one sip and it's right back to me. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So I just keep going again. I basically almost finished the gallon. But then we don't win because they just don't do shit. And then the fucking, like, I'm basically drinking. I have drank more beer than what you can keep in your stomach because you can't drink a gallon of milk. There's not that much volume in your stomach. You will always. That's the gag. If you bet somebody, let's drink a gallon of milk each. It's guaranteed you're both gonna fucking barf milk.
Oh,
Why?
yeah.
You can't keep a gallon of liquid in your stomach. That's the gag.
Yeah.
So if you do a gallon of beer, and I'm doing most of it, I can't have a gallon. So I'm just standing there, and I'm just like. And I feel really weird. Like, not even like I'm going to get sick, but just like I feel like there's too much liquid in me. And I feel like a fucking balloon. So I take like one step, and then it's like... And it's like, what's happening? And then it's like, oh, I have to... And I didn't even get the rest of the thought. And I just fucking fire hose it into the sink.
Oh, nice.
But it's mostly liquid. And I'm like... Everybody's fucking... No one even really notices. 2 seconds go by. Who barfed in the sink? And everyone was just trying to figure it out. And I just never woke up. And I was just like, I don't know. Who barfed? This is weird.
Yeah, plus that had to be rough because, dude, beer is carbonated.
I mean, like a fucking... It was literally like a fucking hot fire hose. And I was just like, oh! For like 1 second. And nobody saw. And I don't know how. Maybe it's because I'm short. And everybody was tall. And they were just like in their own field of view. And I'm just below like... I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe they were all drunk.
That helps too.
Yeah.
I think while alcohol helps the comedy world, I think once weed becomes legal, that's going to help the comedy industry a lot.
So much.
For so many reasons.
I mean, it's just a more euphoric feeling, I think.
One of my friends brought up the fact that if weed is legal, they would want to start like a buttery instead of like a winery.
Gotcha.
And I was like, nice. You know, it'd be cool if you started one of those like old-timey blackbead kind of like jazz clubs from like back in the day where you have mostly like African-American performers and you set a very specific tone and like the Dynasties from Always Sunny.
From Always Sunny.
Yeah. And like you have like jazz groups, you have like maybe even like rap performances. You go very like vibe and you maybe just serve wine and like whiskeys but like not really alcohol and you only really serve weed and like that I think in itself would like paint a really cool picture.
Yeah,
because that doesn't mean white people can't come. I just don't know if I really want white performers.
Right.
Like I like me some trio of three black singers and then like a black trumpet player and like we're not alone. I'm like, oh, I'm coming.
That's music for your soul.
Yeah, I'm like, there's
music.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just like, it just makes me feel nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if as two white kids we can say that, but I'm gonna.
Well, yeah. But you want to know where I thought you were going to take it with that?
Okay.
I thought you were going to say smoking different kinds of weed and then pairing it with the food that complements it best. Or like
that'd
drinks.
be a hard thing to all sum up.
Right. But like they do that with beer and whiskey, like they do whiskey with chocolate or whatever.
Some Italian restaurants have like pastas and they're like pairs well with, and it'll say like a wine. So like maybe you could say like pairs well with Afghani Kush.
Right, or something.
Like,
yeah, you know.
What the fuck ever. That'd be funny. But that'd be a lot of like field research, and I don't think dispensaries.
I'm down for it, though. You just have to smoke and eat. That's it.
I don't know if somebody's willing to pay two nerds to sit and smoke a bunch of weed and eat a bunch of pasta and be like, this is all really good. They're like, wow, that's exactly what we thought you would say. Thanks so much for your input.
Hey, well.
What's your favorite holiday?
Oh, my favorite holiday?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably
Are you a Christmas man? Do you like St. Patty's Day?
Well, I like St. Patty's Day, though. Yeah.
Are you a advocate of the green beer?
Yeah, I'm alright with that. I mean, I mean, it's a little unsettling when you're not drunk.
Yeah, and
but once you get there,
this goop,
right?
This slop of.
It's like, how did it get green?
Ooh. But then you start having some, and you're like, all right,
fuck it.
I guess whatever.
Yeah.
I guess this is what everybody's doing. Everybody's jumping off a bridge. I might as well just fucking lay back.
Actually, speaking of stories,
right.
like last one, I went to Dayton, UD, for St. Patty's Day my freshman year.
Were you there for the riot?
Yeah.
Well, not riot.
Not riot, but
we shouldn't even call it riot because there was no riot.
But
they shouldn't have called riot patrol, which is the SWAT.
Right. The whatever, the riot gear came out. I don't know.
How was that? What happened there?
Well, I mean, that wasn't...
walk me through your day there.
My day there? Well, I got there, I don't know. I'm just going to say it was Friday to Saturday, because who gives a fuck?
So you were there for 2 days?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was there Friday, Saturday, and then I left Sunday.
Sunday? Well, that's what I imagined. I'm like, so you're going after it Friday and Saturday.
Oh, yeah. I get there a little later. They're just playing Beer Die, and that's a chugging game, basically.
Yeah.
And so they're playing, I get a game, start drinking, get drunk, pass out, get woken up on St. Patty's Day. Yeah. Get woken up on St. Patty's Day to blaring Dropkick Murphys, which is like an Irish like rock band. 4 a.m. and I get 2 40s taped to my hand.
You got ever 40 hands.
40s at 4. And then after that, we did Irish car bombs till 8.
Edward 40 hands. You were a victim of that. That's funny as fuck.
Yeah. We all were, dude. It was
they're duct taped there until you finish them.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I had it there for 45 to an hour. It was horrible, dude.
Well, that's a lot of liquid.
Oh, it's shit ton of liquid.
You're just pissing it as you're making more. You're just a cycle of yellow.
You want to know? I had to ask my friend who already had one down
Bro,
to fucking unzip my dick out.
Get my dick out.
I did. No.
Grab my dick.
But
shake the D off for me.
No, but then, so after that, they were like, alright, if you need to puke, piss, whatever you gotta do, we're doing Irish car bombs.
Oh, sorry, I had to violently shit there. I'm good, though. Give me more booze. And it's just black shit. They're like, oh.
Well, anyway, this is a Guinness poured into a red Solo cup, and then a shot of Bailey's. And then you have to drink it before the Bailey's curdles, right? It'll curdle. Yeah, like fucking cottage cheese, bro. So, yeah, get that. Keep that in mind. That plays in. So, we go in, I take like fucking maybe 2 or 3 of those. Dude, I was done for. Pass out, right? 10 o'clock, tops. Maybe 9:30, already passed out. Wake up around 5, go to whatever that street's called. I forget what it is.
Right.
And the riot police are already there. And, I mean...
So you're walking into it.
Oh, yeah. And I was underage.
You're like walking there, like, what's going on? And on the right, there's like the partiers. They're like back, like lemurs. And then on the left, there's just fucking cops, and they're like jungle monkeys ready to fucking eviscerate the lemurs.
No, it was like fucking the rows of houses.
Yeah.
The porches.
Yeah.
Filled.
With
Front
people.
lawns.
Really?
Filled.
No.
Sidewalks empty. Streets empty. Same symmetrical on the other side.
Yeah.
And there was people on like the little grass patch in between the sidewalk and the street.
And cops with their shields about.
And I think there were people in the street too. And then there were just on both sides riot shields.
Damn.
Yeah. So yeah, that was basically, and I was underage, just fucking stumbling, and I couldn't carry a beer, and I was real pissed off about that. But
that is funny though.
Yeah, but that was my experience. But Trevor was there too, so when he comes back on,
I really thought he was gonna barf on the show, and I was kind of upset that I didn't get it out of him.
Dude, I'm gonna. Yeah, he goes hard.
He does go hard.
He goes hard.
He is funny though.
Mm.
We talk, man. Is he single now officially?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
So before he became single, he was actually still in his relationship when he was on the show.
Right.
But he was reminiscing really hard about this Swedish bitch or whatever.
Luca. Yeah.
Oh my god, the fact that you know her name. And
Yeah.
he was like, dude, I fell in love with this girl, and I would to this day probably still be with her if she would want to be with me. And it was just unloading all this shit, and I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah, dude.
The drug speaks from the heart.
Yeah, it's yeah. He may. Did he tell you anything?
Oh my god, he told me that when she first met him, they weren't clicking, and like he fucked the fridge up, and like all this stuff, and like they skipped home. And she didn't speak really English, and like, they were just laughing their fucking asses off, and they're joking about, and then they get back, and then he's like, tries to say something, and she fucking slaps him, and says something in like Swedish, and is like, and he's like, huh, and then she just throws him down, she's like, there's no more talking, or if there is, it don't matter, and I'm like, oh my god!
Yeah, there are countless weekends where he would like he would skip class on Friday,
Right.
and then he would go up and see her.
Where does she live?
She was at Akron University.
Oh.
So
Wait, his girlfriend or the fucking Swede?
I think she was Polish. I don't know, but I think she was Polish.
Slap.
Yeah, she's one of them.
Because I guess she could kind of speak English, but she wasn't really into it.
No, it was like.
I asked her, I was like, would you move up to like Sweden or Poland or wherever the fuck she lives to go there if you had to? She goes, honestly, probably. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
That's a scary thought, moving continents.
It really is. But there's countless weekends where he would go up Friday, stay there, get no sleep, because,
Yeah.
and then he would drive back and be at morning practice at 6 a.m.
What a guy. Doing it.
And then he'd go back after that.
He'd
be back by 8 a.m., whatever time Monday.
That's either two things. When love is good, you'll do anything. Or when the
Golden
tail is
snatch.
just right.
Golden snatch.
When the tail is just right. Oh, that's either a good sentence or a very sexist
Well,
one.
hey, look, we'll confirm or deny that
when he comes
back
together with you, we'll iron that one out in the fire and be like, why are you with this bitch? Is she Polish? I'll just have to listen back. I mean, this is like after that one, but it's not been posted yet, so like we don't even know. This show is all over the place. That's why it's gonna be weird to listening to it when it's finally out, and you're like, this feels like it's coming from a lot of different directions.
It's kind of like Hot Ones. Have you ever seen that one?
I try to make it like the Eric Andre show.
Oh yeah.
Or It's Always Sunny type combos.
No, I was saying not the style of show, not style, just like the release dates, because he does them like months in advance. It's just weird. No,
so I've got like a bunch of them in the can. So now there's one every Monday. So that's something.
Yeah.
For at least like 14 weeks now.
I mean, you got 14.
I've already posted one, and it was my bully.
Right.
Who now is cool.
And that's a 2.5 hour one?
It was like an hour 40 total for the whole show. That's with music breaks and everything in it. So it wasn't too bad.
Which one's the 2 hour and 30?
Damn, the 2:30 one is the one I did with Nick and Bailey.
The thick boy.
Oh my god, the thick boy. And I was like, are we really gonna do a super ass long show? Dude, Bailey dies in it, and he's just like, I'm gonna go to bed. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, Bailey. He's like, I don't give a shit about your opinions. And we're gonna keep talking. Because right when I was trying to intro it, they were being really fucking assholes. And I was like, oh, hi, it's just my radio show, and Bailey just be in the fucking kitchen doing something and just being like, you got pterodactyls in here. Whoa, that's crazy. And I'm like, Bailey, shut the fuck up.
Trick the viewers.
They
can't see anything.
Yeah, of course we have pterodactyls in here. Just use your emat. Emat. I was gonna let it ring out. Just
fuck me. I can't do it.
I like the fucking sound effect attempts because the comedian does that best. Where we're like, we'll do. I thought you were gonna like fucking do like a. I didn't even look over, and I think you were gonna do like a whoo. So I stopped looking, and you're just drinking. You just give me a thumbs up, and I'm like, "Yeah, buddy, you get it."
You could probably hear me gulp.
Well, when I go back to edit this, I'll listen in for that fucking gulp, and I'll just turn it up really loud. So it's in the video, in the people's ears, it's gonna be like you're talking, and then it's like, oh god, I wonder if they heard that.
So. Do you go through and edit all these, like, completely? Can you cut and...
Yeah, if I want, but I basically leave the whole conversation in. If I can, just because, like, I think that's the rawer version of the show, and that's what people like, because it has mistakes, and that's, if we didn't make mistakes, we wouldn't be disappointments.
Right, I'm the biggest disappointment.
Maybe that's what
Maybe
I have. Maybe secretly I just have everybody on the show that I think is very disappointing in their lives.
Hey... My parents would agree.
No, because my parents would agree with me. No, I guess we're out here doing it. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say college doesn't work out, which it probably will. But let's say you get the degree, use it, and it doesn't work out. What would you rather do? So you're like, what would be the hobby career that you think you could just do?
Hobby? Oh, dude, I don't know.
Because hobby career, yeah, I'm not saying it's practical. I'm just saying, what would your heart... move to.
Golly, this is gonna take some thinking, so you're gonna have to clean up some dead space.
You're fine. Yeah, I'll talk for a minute to give you a little time. Because, like, I like to think that no matter what I do, comedy will, reign true. But I guess if I had a backup, obviously the IT's there, and I'll have my degree. But that's not what my heart's, like, in. Mm-hmm. So, like, for my example, if I wasn't going to be a comedian, goal-wise, I think I could be... like some kind of musician or like some kind of like bullshit poet like that. Just I wouldn't be the maybe not the main performer, but I could be. I'm just versatile enough that I could be like a writer, dude, for SNL or some bullshit like that.
Like be a music reviewer or something like.
Yeah, because I think I have a good ear. And
yeah,
I think I can listen to. I think I can describe music well. So I mean, there's shit to do.
I don't want to say critique because that's just. I don't know. I don't like to use that word with music because there's something out there for everybody.
Maybe I can find a lobby group and be put on that pedestal to talk in front of Congress and be like, well, you should legalize weed, you old fuckers. Because you're stuck in your dumb old ways.
It'll
tired
change
of
here
it.
soon.
And you've got 20 years tops. I don't give a shit how much money you dump into the Disney fund for old people secretly hooked up to Walt Disney's secret bloodline. And they're like, they plug in and then they all just share blood. And they're like, it's all like an old person cult that Disney started back in the day.
Yeah, dude.
It was like 5 cents to join. And it was like, why not join the Disney Blood Club? And it was like a really old cartoon. And back in the day, it was just so he could categorize all the blood and make sure that no Jews got in. Because secretly he's an anti-Semite. And it's like, whoa, Disney...
Might be true. Yeah,
that is true.
That
Disney is an anti-Semite. What do you mean?
Yeah, you're right. No, that's.
I guess not as much now, but you don't really see anything Jewish in Disney, to my knowledge. Although I could be totally wrong, and they have like a Jewish section in the fucking, I guess like Walks of the World part. But like,
you can look it up on Disney Plus.
I'm not feeling. I've never really seen a lot of Jewish actors and stuff do stuff on Disney. Like for some reason. I never really see a lot of Adam Sandler in Disney, do ya?
Is he Jewish?
Yeah, he's Jewish.
Is Rob Schneider? Yeah, he's Jewish, right? That fro of his.
That's a good question.
I want to say he is.
I don't know if he's. I don't know.
He
if
may
he's
not
Jewish.
be practicing. I don't know. Who knows?
Drake's Jewish now.
No way. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Converted.
Dang.
Has a fish fillet once a week. That cuts it, right?
No.
Lil Dicky's Jewish.
Oh, yeah, I knew that, dude.
Jerry Seinfeld's Jewish.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah. So I don't know. There's a lot of funny people that are... And you don't really see them on Disney Channel. Why?
No.
Jewish!
Walt Disney, dude.
Walt Disney, not about it.
Or
we're wrong.
So
we're not saints.
Yeah.
We can't act like we
Right.
know. That's why when people... They're like, how dare you say the things you say in the show? I'm like, hey, man... Why are you listening if you don't like it?
I'm a disappointment.
Yeah, I'm a disappointment. What else is there to fucking, like...
What are you expecting?
Yeah, absolutely.
The title's there.
Farts, like farts of a show. Someone told me if a fart was a person, that's what I would look like.
Probably be funny.
Yeah, and I was like,
this is fucking funny.
At least the fart's funny.
Yeah, exactly. So after that, I think I got it. I would want to do something in the movie industry or
make movies.
Yeah, something like that, dude. I'm.
What's your favorite type of movie?
I would probably say.
Like if you were gonna make a movie, would you go for like a horror movie that has a few good jokes but good plot, or would you go for like a comedy, or would you go for like a love story, or?
Yeah, I don't know. My girlfriend would move towards love story.
Right.
But
what do you want to make?
I would want to make.
Do you want to make a superhero movie? Do you want to
suspense thriller?
Suspense thriller.
Like fucking
Prisoner-ish.
Yeah, dude.
Scary, but maybe a real scary.
No, like a real, like, creepy, deep, like, wow, this is real, this is creepy.
Okay, where would you set it at? Where in your mind is the creepiest setting that you could...
Right in your hometown.
Okay, because it's at your door.
Right there, yeah.
Okay. And I imagine it would be like a secret killer situation.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe
it feels like there's more of a serial killer vibe going around.
Well, you know,
interest nowadays.
The movie that I would base it on is either Prisoners with Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. Mm-hmm. That's a fucking good movie right there. And there's a foreign Korean film, international film, sorry, that is called Memoir of a Murderer.
Memoir of a Murderer. That sounds good as fuck.
Dude, and I know you're down for subtitles.
Down to clown.
You're down for subtitles. So, if you ever want a, like, just movie that makes you think and just feel deep down inside, you learn this in the first few minutes, so this is no spoilers. An old guy with dementia is a serial killer. Okay. And he's losing his mind. He doesn't know what's up, what's down. He doesn't know what he's doing. And there's
gone bonkers.
And there is a murderer
afoot. Yeah. And they don't know if it's him.
And he doesn't know if it's him. And,
that's a good twist.
Yeah, and
like
he
doesn't. It flashes to his perspective.
And he's an unreliable narrator.
And he's checking in wherever.
Right.
Yeah,
a little bit like Joker, a little bit like
he's narrating his own thing, and he thinks he's doing the right thing. That's a good.
Dude, I'm telling you, it fucked me up for 2 weeks. I didn't stop talking about it.
Because then you don't know if to trust the narrator.
No, dude.
One of the best examples of that in any movie is when they made the first Willy Wonka.
Yes.
So they go to Gene Schneider, and they go, "We want you in this movie. Will you be Willy Wonka?" And he's like, "No." And he doesn't want to do it. And they're like, "What would it take for you to get to do this?" He goes, "Okay, when I go out of the factory, I want to come out with a cane, and I want to come out limping, and then I want to fall." And they were like, "What?" He was like, "This way, the audience, but then I want to spring up. This way, the audience won't know to trust me." That's one of the most interesting things I've ever heard. Because right off the bat, that's exactly what it does. He comes out old, fucking cripple, and you're like, oh, it's an old man. Then he fucking falls, you're like, and they let it drag out, and then he springs up, and then you're like, oh, he's just goofy. And you're like, oh, he got me.
Right.
And you don't know where he's gonna get you. So then when he gets really creepy, you're like, when's it get, ha ha, and then it doesn't. And then you're like, this is weird.
Right.
It's just...
Yeah. You're always
certain people
guessing.
make certain things better.
Right.
And that's a good example of that. So, like...
Just putting that little extra kink in your mind.
That little specific thing, like, I don't want the audience to trust me, and you shouldn't either, so this is the only way I'll do it. And if you don't... And at first they were like, I don't know. They don't know. And that's the thing. The people who are making the movies sometimes don't even know, like, what's right until somebody says, this would be better if we did this.
Yeah, and I get that feeling a lot honestly, from Always Sunny. Like,
Yeah.
the backstory of The Nightman Cometh. And how...
Dude,
And
when they eventually low-key teased the random fact that, oh shit, what if this didn't happen when they were young? What if this really did happen when they was now? And Frank let Charlie's uncle molest him.
Yeah.
Because it's like, they keep, now it's like, you made a whole plan about getting raped by your uncle. And it's like, that's not what that's about. It's about the Nightman. And it's like, what the fuck is the Nightman? Did you see the last episode of the new season, Waiting for Big Schmo?
No, I have not. I've only seen like 3 or 4
You
episodes.
super
of the season.
need to get to the last
I
episode.
know, dude. This season's so good.
I know.
It's even
And at
better
first
than
you're
last
like,
season.
I don't know. And you're like, I don't know if they're going to top it. Dude, it's so much better. Like, I love D-Day.
Oh, D-Day was so funny.
What about, I mean, the implications of that sentence alone, D-Day.
Right.
And then they use that bit multiple times. You're
I
like,
know.
it's D-Day. And she's
It's
like,
D-Day.
what? And then the other guy's like, he's like, sorry, it's D-Day. It's really throwing me off. It's not D-Day. That was... And it's talking about the day they landed on fucking... And then it's like, oh, you know, I'm not fucking talking about the war. I'm talking about, you know... They don't want to go into a whole fucking hour rant of, we each have a holiday for each other.
We have
I
to
wanna
do
see-
whatever we say for 12
I want to see them do a Charlie Day.
I want to see a Dennis Day.
Because I don't want to see a Dennis Day.
You don't like Dennis?
I love Dennis.
Oh.
I don't want to see a Dennis Day.
Oh, I do.
I don't want to see the bondage and the weird
I do,
and the
dude.
god shit and the goldenness of what he's got planned. I don't want to see them lay down in gold paint for an hour just coming on the floor being like, release your energies. And it's like, Dennis, what the fuck are you doing to these people?
Dude, that is exactly what Dude, Dennis
I've
is
pitched-
such... That was the next thing I was going to say. And the way Dennis is more and more gradually...
It's just getting worse.
creepy.
Dude, when he's like, I get a performance out of you. That's probably one of the best new sentences of the whole show, where he just laughs, and the girl's like, oh, I'm not an actress. He goes, I get a performance. And it's like, oh, okay, Dennis.
Yeah.
One of my... So I like to write episodes, but, like, episodes I don't think could happen unless they were in season. So what are they at right now? 14?
Yes.
Which Seinfeld is, what, 16 or 17?
I have no idea.
They said they're going for it. Like, Seinfeld's the longest running sitcom. But
Really?
Yeah, Seinfeld is the longest running live action sitcom. And, like, Scrubs didn't go for that many seasons. Nothing did.
What is... Oh, I guess Grey's Anatomy isn't a sitcom.
Yeah,
is
it's
it?
not a sitcom. It's because sitcoms are different. That's a
Yeah.
comedy. It's very different.
Yeah.
And
It
that
gets
Seinfeld
boring
holds
after a
a
while.
record, but, you know, Always Sunny's trying to go for it. And I think that's why they did that Seinfeld bit when they did the flashback episode. Remember?
I don't know
When
if I saw
they
that.
recreated the whole... When they did, like, the flashback episode, Frank gets hair and long legs, and, like, there's 2 Charlies, and, like, they fuck
Do
up...
you know if that's in the first 3 episodes?
I think it's in season 13.
I should know
They
that
do a
episode.
flashback episode. So they do all the moments, they go back, and they talk about, like...
Oh,
The
it's in
greatest
their
hit.
minds.
Yeah.
Oh,
but then,
yeah.
But then fucking Frank grows hair and has super long legs because
Right.
they fuck up reality.
Exactly.
And then 2 Charlies and then D falls and all that bullshit.
Yes.
Well, why did I bring this up?
Seinfeld.
Yeah, during it when they're recreating like bits, they flash back and they go to they do a Seinfeld bit
Right.
in Seinfeld's apartment in costume.
Oh, yes! Yes.
Yeah. So, like, I think they did that because they're going for the title for real. They paid homage. That's what
Yeah,
you do.
yeah.
That's what you do to the champ. You
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
You don't
You
be
don't talk
disrespectful.
down.
You
No,
kiss
no.
the ring and then you take the ring.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
a nice sentence.
Respect, yeah.
So I love Always Sunny. I want them to do it because I fucking think they're the best show in the world.
I think they
But
should
I
go
like
for
to write.
24
I like to
seasons.
write shows and versions of the episodes that I like to imagine will happen once they get to like season. Let's say they get to like 24, 27. I mean, they
Fuck, dude,
they
I
literally
would
said
love
they'll
that.
go until Danny DeVito dies. He said, "I will do the show until I die," and I think the last episode of the show will be Frank's funeral. But it would be the best way to end the show.
And it would have to be...
Because they would be like, we don't want to admit this, but, you know, we're not a gang without you.
Right.
And that would hit
Dude, but it would have to not be a somber episode. It would have to be
No, they have to. They have to get sad for most of it, and then they have to get really weird, and then really fucking funny, and like it's just because it's just good. That would be good.
That would
Charlie would do his own moment,
just
and that would make people cry. Oh my god, I should write for the show. So, one of the episodes I like to write in my head is that Dennis just keeps getting weirder. Obviously, Mac keeps getting more confused with religion and gayness, and just keeps getting bigger into both of them. Charlie's getting dumber, Dee's getting more beautiful and more aggressive, and Frank's just getting fucking grosser and weirder. And it's Charlie, Frank, and Dee, and they're coming over to Dennis and Mac's apartment for whatever. It doesn't matter. Intro sentence. They get there, and nobody's not around. This is maybe how the episode starts, yeah. And they ramble about something, and then they walk in on Dennis and Mac doing just the weirdest sex shit you can imagine. Now, here's what it is, and here's why it works. Dennis is wearing, like, a golden god type outfit. He's got a whip, he's got, like, a flogging, he's got a paddle, he's got whatever the fuck he wants, like torture tools, okay?
Alright.
Mac is wearing an all-leather gimp suit.
Gotcha. I kind of
and it's riddled with crosses.
Jesus.
Crosses all over.
Alright.
Everywhere. He is sealed up, and there is no genital exposure whatsoever.
Jesus Christ, alright.
So it's just tight-ass leather on Mac, and he gets a zipper for his mouth and eyes and everything.
Okay.
Like, every hole has zippers, and it's funny as fuck. So
I'm down for this.
The reason they flip out as soon as they open the door, they're like, fuck, let's just explain it. And like, Max just standing there, like, hasn't undone the fucking zipper yet. Because he's not allowed to without the Golden God's permission. And the reason it's okay is because he never actually touches Mac, and they never pull their dicks out. Nobody comes. It's just all about power. And it's all about having power over another man. And it's about having influence over another man's life and almost controlling his skin. And they're like, all right, don't rabbit hole about the skin, Dennis.
Oh,
and then eventually Mac really unzips. He goes, if I may. And then he just whips. He goes, the Golden God did not say to speak.
Yes, that is.
It would work.
That is a Dennis moment.
And then Charlie's like, if I may. And he goes, the Golden God's not question. He goes, I just want to know why he's covered in crosses. And he goes, because Mac thought it would make it more okay in God's eyes, or I don't give a shit.
Yes, dude, that's a good ass. I mean, they have to.
I should write.
That's a bold episode.
I should write for Always Sunny.
From there on out, that relationship's just gonna be that much.
Because the whole time you think Dennis hates Mac, and the dynamic is this, and like once you hear that, you're like, they really do need each other.
Yeah, well,
that would cement that relationship forever.
Right.
I mean, I should write for Sunny. They should hire me.
Yeah.
I should help them write their episodes, and I wouldn't even have to get paid. I would just be like, let me exist around you, gods of comedy, and thank you for all you've done for us. Because you've helped at least one weird kid make it through middle school, because your show was on for fucking how long?
Ever.
I mean, it started so long ago, and like, the fact that they've kept going, it just kept getting worse. And I love the story of Sunny. The first season happened, and at the very first season, Danny DeVito watched every single episode, and he was like,
I want a part of this.
They haven't even showed the dad yet. I'm that dad. He's like, I need to be on this show. He was like, called his agent and goes, I don't give a shit what you have to do. It's some weird little show. I need to be on it. And he was like, okay. Dude, that cemented his career in television forever. Like, he did Taxi, he did a bunch of other shows, but like, Sunny was his gem for TV. And once Sunny really took off to the mainstream, because it had a big underground of weirdos that loved it like us. But like, dude, when it took off to mainstream, like, that helped so much other shit. Now he's in fucking Jumanji's and fucking everything. Which he deserves to be, because he was the Penguin.
I was getting ready to say that.
But, like, oh my god, imagine like a Frank Reynolds type villain in a movie. He's mastered the character.
He's the trash man.
Oh my god! And like he comes out and eats garbage and like shoots a dude and has a prostitute. And,
Yeah, dude.
Doesn't
Roxy.
give a yeah. Oh my god, dude! I quote that episode multiple times a day to Abby, and I'll just be like, "Someday I'm gonna marry that whore.
You're my favorite whore.
I'm gonna make that whore my wife." And then
I'll
Abby's
still
like,
pay ya.
Yeah, and Abby was
But you
like,
gotta
when
quit
you
banging
propose,
other
will you do
dudes.
Frank's proposal just in front of my parents to make it funny, and we'll do a real proposal since that's another time. I was like, I'd rather just that be the real proposal. And it's like, you my favorite whore, and I'm still gonna pay you, but I just don't want you paying any guys no more. You're good shit, and I want to make this legit. And it's like, and she has a fucking heart attack and smoking crack all day.
Yeah.
I mean, what other show can pull off characters like that?
Well, and that
Crack whores, ruining preachers.
that
Rickety
is
cricket. Rickety cricket. D when she's fucking drunk at the fucking reunion.
that's also the first episode that Fat Mac shows up.
Fat Mac is a fucking blessing.
He
And
really
I
is.
argue we haven't seen, in my version of that GIMP episode that would happen between the Sunny crew, in my mind, like, that wouldn't be perfect unless Mac is no longer Buff Mac. I like Buff Mac, I like Fat Mac, but you know what the best version of Mac would be?
What?
Gay Fat Mac.
Gay Fat
Or
Mac?
a gay Buff Fat. Because there's Buff Fat,
Oh, like bodybuilding.
but I want a big ass fat Mac.
Meaty.
But I want a big ass bare gay Mac. Because now that he's gay and out of the
hell yeah.
closet, he wasn't gay when he was Fat Mac. Now
Right.
think about that Fat Mac totally open. So much funnier.
That'd be funny.
That's
That
so
would be
much
so
funnier.
funny. Yeah, I don't know.
Ronald McDonald.
I like the frickin' muscular gay Mac. Love it.
Love it.
I
So-
do.
I think it's funny as fuck that they really did get him really fat.
And
And
I'm
then
gonna-
they flip it and they make him really, really skinny.
And
Because it's supposed to confuse you.
well, yeah, and it's the other thing is like it's just like Dennis still talks down to him about being like out of shape.
Dude, when the gang gets analyzed is probably one of my favorite
Oh,
episodes. Because
yes.
I don't like therapy, but that's a very good introduction to the show if nobody's ever seen it. Because it just gives you a taste of all the weird that
Does this look like a dick to you?
Does this look like a dick to you? And he just holds the pen up, and he's just mid-rant, and she's like, what the fuck? And, like, they just keep talking. Dude, when Frank goes, I literally cry every time. Talk about a master of crap. Like,
Dude.
how else do you introduce Danny DeVito? Fucking chewing pistachios, spitting them right in her fucking face in front of the table. And she just keeps doing it. She goes, okay.
A plastic
And
bag
then she's like, okay, this is a lot of
for
shit.
a helmet.
Yeah, she's just like, you unzip me. Oh, you unzip me. She had a plastic bag for a helmet. But like the
was
way
an
he, no.
astronaut.
So like he has the nuts in his hands. This is the level of comedy I want to do. To make the sounds I want to make are funny. So he has the bag of nuts in his hand, and he goes, "Got my first kiss there. Yeah, she didn't have any lips." And then he tosses the bag, and as soon as it hits the fucking table, you get that little like rings out for a sec because you're like, oh yeah, dink. She didn't have any lips, but her mouth was very much in play. It's like, God damn it, Danny! Where do you go with this? Because but she died. She was trying to be an astronaut, and she used a plastic bag for a helmet. Then when he holds up, he dumps the nuts out, holds the fucking bag. A plastic bag. I guess she doesn't know. A plastic bag! Oh, you unzipped me. Oh, yeah, you got me unzipped. I don't like remembering this. And then, I mean, that's
good.
that's great.
Yeah.
And then forever that unzips him. And then, like, the next episode or the one after, they do the Insane Asylum episode. And they talk about Froggy.
Oh, yeah.
They make that quick of a turnaround.
Yeah.
This show is so fucking amazing about that kind of shit.
You want to know...
Do you know what my favorite episode is? And people will say it's one of the worst, but I argue it's one of the best. The Gang Turns Black is my favorite fucking episode. They kill it musically.
They do.
Constantly. They make
When the
amazing
gang
amounts of
turns
reference
black and
to
we
amazing
can't
amounts
turn
of like
back.
black entertainment throughout the episode. They touch on the usage of the N-word a lot.
Oh, yeah.
A lot. And I
I'm
like
gonna
that.
say the N-word.
I really want to say the N-word. You're not saying the N-word. And she like ends the song, and then the black dude comes up. He goes, "What's up, nigga?" And it's like, whoa, what? No, we definitely don't have all the rules figured out. So it was just funny for me personally to see that as a person who advocates for the usage of everybody saying the soft GA, but never the hard ER. Yeah. Because if one word can destroy the world like the first hard ER did, what if the second soft GA version can save the world? And if everybody said it, what if it made us a little more homely, together and on the same page? You know what I mean?
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah. And I keep that in my mind always, because when I say it with my black friends and they fucking hype me up, I mean, I never feel more integrated with another culture than I do in those moments. Yeah. And like, name me another feeling that you'd rather have besides coming or fucking. I mean, it's almost unbeatable to walk in as a white dude to a crowd of black dudes. And you're like, "What's up, niggas?" And they're like, "Oh, bro!" I mean, you will almost come. Yeah. I mean, it's there's no better feeling of fucking just feeling. Then you crack off a funny joke, and then it's fucking, from there.
I've never experienced that, but I can.
But it's a sought-after white dream.
Yeah, I'm
to
gonna
be
be
that
honest,
cool.
That'd be really cool.
To be that cool, just by definition.
Yeah.
Be that Prince level.
Dude.
Sexy for all cultures. And be like, "Yo, nigga, we fuck with you hard."
I want to think that if somebody met me, they would like me enough.
That's a nice sentence. If somebody met me, they would like me. I like your beard and your glasses. Does that make you feel better? Your beard's more than mine. Yours is a beard. Mine is more of pubes. Mine is more of what you would consider sack bait. I just looked over at the time clock. We are way over. Before I fucking rabbit hole around pube beards, we usually do 30 minutes for each chunk. We did 52-ish minutes. So I'm going to say this is the first music break. If I have to cup that up, I have to. But if we might just come back and do a shorter bit, depending on how long I've got you. But I'm not really doing anything, so we can hang out and do some funny shit. So we'll come back, we'll listen to music, we might get some food. Enjoy your music break, you freaks and geeks, which is also a very good movie that I didn't make.
Show.
Well, it's...
Right?
Oh, God, it's so weird you say that. It's a show, but, like, it's a show that was... It's almost like The Sopranos. It's a show that was made like a movie.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Oh, yeah.
That's hard to do. So it just feels like a movie. So suck my dick, because they also made a movie, so it's hard to remember everything. You know what? Enjoy your music breaks, you freaks.
Yeah, and geeks.
Bye.
Without giving any warning, I'm just going to give you to this next Culture Shock song because A, it features and is about arguably the greatest rapper of all time, but also it has a funny intro, and just like this episode, oh, I whacked that thing, I hope that's in there. Just like this fucking episode, it has a funny, start discussing, shit talking, just like me and Owen did, and just like you'll hear. So please enjoy fucking Method Man off the Wu-Tang Clan's album Enter the 36 Chambers. Please enjoy.
Yeah, torture, motherfucker.
Torture, nigga, what?
I fucking tie you to a fucking bedpost with your ass cheeks spread out and shit, right? Put a hanger on a fucking stove and let that shit sit there for like a half hour. Take it off and stick it in your ass slow like. I fucking lay your nuts on a fucking dresser, just your nuts laying on a fucking dresser, and bang them shits with a spike fucking bat. I fucking pull your fucking tongue out your fucking mouth and stab the shit with a rusty screwdriver. I fucking hang you by your fucking dick off the fucking 12-story building out this motherfucker. I fucking sew your asshole clothes and keep feeding you and feeding you and feeding you and feeding you. Yo, roll the dice, man, roll the dice. Yo, so it's going down like that, huh? Yeah. Yo, niggas, play this cigarette. From the slums of Shaolin, Wu-Tang Clan strikes again. The RZA, the Juzza, old dirty bastard, Inspector Deck, Raekwon the Chef, you guard, Ghostface Killer, and the Master. M-E-T-H-O-D, man. M-E-T-H-O-D, man. M-E-T-H-O-D, man. M-E-T-H-O-D, man. Hey, you, get off my ground. You don't know me and you don't know my style. man. Patty cake, hey, the method man. No need skip, beat, jet for Peter Pan. Peanut butter, cause I'm not butter. In fact, I snap back like a rubber man. I be Sam I am, and I don't eat green eggs and ham. Down the hit ya, when it got there, you'll be like, oh shit, that's the jam. Turn it up, now hear me get wild. I'm about to blow, light me up. Upside, downside, inside and outside, hitting you from every angle. There's no doubt. Damn, the one and only method man, the master of the plan, rapping shit like Saran. Rap with some of this and some of that. Hold up, what? I thought I saw a putty cat over there, but I think he best to beware of the diggy dog shit right here. Yippee, yeah, yo, like that set, this ain't your average flow. Coming like raw, ooh, Chico. Tell me how you like it so far, baby, boy. The poetry's in motion, coast to coast it. Rub it on your skin like lotion. What's the commotion? Oh my lord, another corn chop by the Wu-Tang sword. Hey, like that. It's the method man, ain't no fans about it. It's the method, right, y'all? Get your warehouse, get your mouth, get your skins. Don't forget your orty, and we gon' do it like this. I got fat bags of stuff. I got I'm about to go get lifted. I got myself a 40, I got myself a shorty, and I'm about to go and stick it. Yes, I'm about to go and stick it. H-U-F-F, hot, and I pop, blow like snow. When the cold winds blow, then soon I hit the mic like boom. Know the song about it like the here it go. Question, what exactly is a penny raider? Ill behavior, savior, or major flavor? All of the above, oh yeah, plus a deucer. Also flamming the man. Joe, with an average flow, do an average thing with average hoe. Yo, I'm super, I make a bitch squirt for my super sperm. Check it, I give it to you raw but naked. I smell sex past the method. Let's get lit there, I get ballistic. Missiles and shoot game like a pistol. Clip is loaded when I click bang. A Wu-Tang slow hits your brain. J-U-M-P jump and I bump. Make girls work like pumping, humpty hump. Wow, the selling style is all in me. Child, the whole damn L is calling me. B-A-N-T-Y-R-A-I-B-E-R mad raw. I don't cry, meaning no one can burn or toss and turn me. Ooh, I'll be the super sperm. Chim-chim-money, chim-chim-cherry. Freak up flow and flow fancy free. Now how many legs does it take for me to hit the Tootsie Roll center of a break? Beating don't sleep, the dudes mad me Wu-Tang. Making motherfuckers like bleach. So to each and every crew, you clear like glass, I can see right through. Your whole damn buzz, the captain, I'm on your business. You didn't have wins to begin with. I'm the M-E-T-H-O-D man, M-E-T-H-O-D man, M-E-T-H-O-D man. Here I am, the method man.
Straight from the slums of Charlotte, Wu-Tang killer bees on a swarm.
Your soul have just been triggered through the 36 chambers of death, kid.
Next song reminds me of Owen because, like our conversations, they can sound very sweet but be about a very serious topic like heroin addiction. And just like Ohio has such a fucking issue with it, so did Neil Young's eyes see the world with so many issues. And he said, why not craft a song about it to help heal these issues? So please enjoy this next song, and Owen, this one is especially for you because it reminds me of you. The Needle and the Damage Done by Neil Young. Please enjoy.
Cops are knocking at my cellar door. I
my band. I watched the needle take another man. Gone, gone, the damage done. I sing the song because I love the man. I know that some of you don't understand. Milk blood to keep from running out. I've seen the needle and the damage done. A little part of it in everyone, but every junkie's like a setting sun.
What's this? A surprise and third culture shock on the second break? That can only mean one thing. Brighton's either in a musical mood or he's just fucking pissed that Owen's not here to help him pick the songs. Either way, I love you, Owen. So I just picked this really old song. It's by the Drifters and Clyde McFadder, I want to say. When I fucking heard this, I don't know what it was about this song, but like the piano overtook me, the lyrics were just sway-y, and I think Owen, of all people, who's a music lover, and we talk music all the time when he's here, would, enjoy. So please enjoy Warm Your Heart.
Well, we're all searching for peace of mind. Love in this world is hard to find. Come close to me, hold my hand, and warm your heart. Only a true love satisfies. Open your arms and close your eyes. Walk with me, hold my hand, and warm your heart. Well, you're the reason for the way I'm feeling, 'cause I've never been this way before. I wanna make you oh so happy. That's all I'm living for. Enjoy our sorrow. Yes, you should know we need each other when lights are low. Stay with me, hold my hand, and warm your heart. So come to me and make things right. I'll keep you happy both day and night. Stay with me, hold my hand, and warm your heart.
You have crossed the line with me. I've had guys throw barbecues at me. They've broke the windows out of my car. They've cursed and sworn at me. But the bottom line is, I ain't crazy motherfuckers like you get knocked out. Don't be looking me in the eyes, boy. I ain't got no candy for you. No candy. Except for the right hook.
Let's get back to the show before one of you at home catch one of these crazy right hooks, you crazy motherfucker.
We talk space right now, Owen, because we're back.
Gosh, I don't know.
We were talking about space and Rick and Morty and everything else. Are your socks Rick and Morty?
They are. They're the dimension socks.
They're the portal.
I actually did not plan that. Wow.
That's cute as shit.
Yeah.
What do you like about Rick and Morty? What draws you in about it versus other animated shows like Family Guy or American Dad or Cleveland Show or that's all Fox shit. Let me get versatile. Shit. I almost said Simpsons, but them too.
Fuck! It doesn't even matter. It's very, very unique in its versatility, whereas...
There's a lot it can do.
Right. No. I mean, with the subject matter, yes. But with their emotions, too. I mean, fucking... You don't know if fucking their mom's their mom anymore.
I know.
Like, Rick wants to kill himself. There was a whole episode around that. Like, that fucking brings your shit down. But then... in the intro.
That's what BoJack Horseman does too.
Right. They
go dark. Yeah. They talk about the suicide. They talk about the dark sides of comedy and like. To me, Rick and Morty sometimes feels like a science D&D.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, because so it's very. You can do anything in it.
Right.
And when you have a environment like that in a show like Rick and Morty, that's different. That's a little more refreshing because you're used to, okay, the infinite of possibility comes from monsters and magic and, you know, all that stuff, which is good. And they did a D&D like episode where they even came out with a D&D game themselves, because they're really into that kind of shit. The creator of Rick and Morty, Dan Harmon, and Justin Roiland, Dan Harmon started another show on VRV, and it's literally him and like, I want to say 2 regular guests who are always the same and play D&D with them, and they're comedians. But then it's one different guest every show of a different celebrity that he's met or played with or know, and they fucking play D&D and they animate it, and it's really fucking funny. And it's just another example of how, like, creative those guys are. Yeah. Because they're super into, like, D&D and they're super into acid. Like, they're into both really hard.
Very artistic, too.
Very artistic.
Two very artistic things.
Yeah. And that just, you're seeing that as a product of Rick and Morty. Like, you're seeing them be into D&D and be into all this creative shit, and then see them also do drugs and see what thoughts that they would have on, or like a lot of people don't know that some of the bits that they put into Rick and Morty they recorded drunk.
Oh yeah, dude.
Because when they did them, that's why they're so funny. Like the fucking
and the commercials.
Yeah, all the commercials. Yeah, most of those are improv, and that's how I do my sets because I think they're funny.
Yeah, dude.
I'm like, I don't know, like what about not giving a shit is funny,
dude. I mean,
it's because some people just don't have the balls to not give a shit, or maybe it's because they don't want to throw their life away and not give a shit.
Exactly, it's something everybody would love to imagine.
Yeah,
right? It's just a euphoric feeling of wow, that guy doesn't give a shit. Let me just give that half a second thought to what my life would be if I was like that.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, I feel that. Just like imagine if I had a fucking portal gun and I could go
infinite
to
universes. Well, that's what. Like Buddhism talks about. That's why I like Rick and Morty, because it's just like it pushes your brain to think about always infinite, the infinite possibilities of infinite dimensions, of infinite versions of yourself doing infinite different things, and like that's a lot of other guys killing it. So maybe I can just not, and they can just kill it. Nah. It's also a funny fucking thought if people like to rabbit hole, I guess, down like if there's millions of versions of me and they're probably doing better, I can be the one version that doesn't. Because that's the easy way out.
But who wants to live that life, though?
Homeless people?
Yes.
One time I saw a buddy of mine and he was, I remember this to this day, so I was parking my car with my dad
Because I think just at the time I was getting my license, I don't even remember who was driving. Let's just say my dad was driving for easy purposes. And I get out of his truck, and we're by the fucking, like, where at my hometown there was like a little, not the Capitol building of the fucking little town. It's more of like the city hall-ish.
Right, I got you.
I don't even know what it is.
Like the downtown area.
Yeah,
basically.
but it's not really big, so I don't know what I'm talking about. It's in Eaton.
I'm from a small
so
town.
it's like whatever.
You're good.
So Recited the fucking place I'm eating, like literally next door left. So I get out and I hear Brian from somebody that's laying on the lawn of the fucking Capitol building, and I'm like,
on the lawn?
What? And then I hear another person go, Brian? And I'm like, look over. It's my buddies. They're in boxes. And I'm like, what are you doing? And it's like, dude, we're all sleeping out in boxes to raise awareness about homelessness. I didn't even filter it out loud in front of all these other people in boxes. I'm like,
what the
I feel like you're adding to the homeless problem.
Yeah, that... It's just
like, for a day, you go out and sleep to let people know that's walking by, hey, there is still a homeless issue, even though you may not see it as much.
Yeah, I understand that.
But, like, isn't that funny?
That is.
It's like, you just created 20 homeless people for tonight.
Right, and it's just like, oh, yeah, you're gonna come live this life for a message. Like, I understand it's a good message, but it's just like, other than that, what did they do for those homeless people? Like, they just fucking crowded. They took their beds.
They took their turf.
Right, exactly.
What if one homeless dude was like, are we starting a gang?
I think they're actually fairly territorial. I think that they are. Like, in the
That's why
bigger
they slept in
cities.
groups.
Really?
The dude, like, CJ took it way too far, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm fine with this. He brought multiple boxes, he was cutting them, and he had a fort, he had a little window. It was funny as fuck.
In our apartment, we actually lived here downstairs on the lobby floor, but we had a buddy, actually Trevor. We found a big water heater box out there, and we were like, yo, can we have that? And he just cut it right down the middle, put it from floor to ceiling in like maybe a 4x6 area in our apartment, and literally had his monitor, his computer, and a fan or some shit right next to this window. So he took all the fucking natural light out of the room. And,
it's dark.
Yeah, and he cut like a hole. And he put a little sign like jerking off, not jerking off, you know. So it was a fun time.
That is funny. I like when people do that. They because my brothers did that a lot in my basement. They would stack shit and put boxes up to like create rooms because we had the space for all of them, but we didn't have like walls. Obviously,
yeah,
it was
rooms.
a big ass basement.
Right.
There's only really one room, so we just divide. I mean, we made it work, and surprisingly, it really did. And it was really funny to see all these different players like come up creatively, and I always like wanted to do that. And now that we're 21, it'd be a little easier to get beer boxes too. So like, I want to get like get 1 or 2 big boxes, divvy a room off, and then reinforce it with the fucking beer boxes because they're a little more stable.
Right.
Like cardboarding, you can put all amongst the wall, and then do like a fucking window. You could do one like, in my opinion, you could do like a big ass chunk of it out, and then just do multiple layers of like saran wrap. And that would be kind of fucking awesome to see.
That would be.
Like, through.
Do your parents take in only like older people, or do they take
Usually,
in
well, now I'm older than the last person who stayed at my house, which is weird to think about. So I guess I have a little brother. But he didn't stay there that long, because he's only there for like 3 months, 4 months. It was Hunter Green. I don't know if you know who that is. It was just, it was fun. He was a nice kid. I just didn't really. He was just taller than me, so I was like, "Hey, buy me beer." Because at the time I was 20, and he was like, "You should buy me beer." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "I'm 18." I'm like, "I'm 20."
Well, darn, guess we're not getting drunk.
Damn, I guess neither of us are getting drunk. But I guess my parents had some whiskey, so I was like, "Oh, I guess we'll just get drunk there."
Yeah.
And we still did. So if there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly.
You know, anything's possible.
We will get drunk. Well, there's a way to get drunk.
You just barf on it. Just kidding. If you want to get drunk, you will.
There's Patron right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, now we are 21. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, well,
I want to at least one time, before I forget, thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, well, thank you for having me,
I only have people on the show that I have fun with and I enjoy company of talking to. So
I've had a lot of fun, really.
You should feel nice that I value you as much as I value Dee Dee or anybody else I put on the show, because they're all just as entertaining.
I'm fist pumping in the air right now.
You know how long this episode is going to be, like, until it comes out? Like, a while. Because there's, like, 13 episodes in front of you.
That's okay.
That I have to
It'll
post.
Be worth
and right
wait.
now I'm only posting one a Monday. Unless, like, 1 million people started being on the show, I don't think I'm going to start posting 2 a week. Because the material just runs out so much faster.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I want the show to feel like it's always around.
Yeah.
So if I post one on Monday, all of a sudden that stretches out. And you're like, oh, it's another Monday, another Brighton.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but it's another Brighton. Like, it's a nice feeling to have that. Because there was a run where Sonny was just hitting an episode, pumping one out, like, oh my God, every week. They had seasons coming out way faster than they have been coming out now. But a lot more goes into making the episodes now. So they need more time for production, but like, fuck, I don't even give a shit because the camera keeps getting better. The effects keep getting better.
The characters, too.
Dude, like, what did you think about the whole black and white episode they did where the janitor mops twice?
Which one is that?
It's in all black and white. And it's in
is that the new season?
No, it's in season 14.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one.
It's the 2nd or 3rd episode in. Yeah, it's really early on. You get to see it.
Okay.
And it's literally the janitor mops twice, and it's all black and white.
Okay.
And they do it in a, like, what do you say, Mac? What are you talking about here? Like that kind of
1950s,
yeah,
60s maybe.
Speakeasy kind of
20s.
time era almost, but still when booze were legal. And it's just fucking banana bonkers, like how good it is.
Nice.
And like they do something that definitely shows you this is not in the sunny reality at all.
Huh.
Because I'll just spoil it a little bit. So like the waitress and Charlie act very kind toward each other and flirt. And there's a flirt scene and like they dance the tango very well and you're like, that was fucking awesome. And then later in the episode they do it one more time and you're like, damn, they really can flirt. And then you remember they're married in real life, so you're like, oh, of course they can.
Right.
And then they fuck.
What?
And you're like, whoa, he bangs her. He bangs the waitress. I hate that we don't even know her name, and I can't even give the name of the character. Melissa, whatever her name is.
Yeah, they're married in real life.
Yeah, whatever her actual name is. But isn't that funny as fuck? That like they
Dude,
bang.
that's
And then he
more
wakes
epic.
up and Dee's in the bed, and he gets pissed, and like, he's like, ha!
That's more epic than him fucking that prostitute in the skiing
Oh my
episode.
god. And during Jesse's Girl.
Yeah.
And then he plays this. My favorite bit is when I'm sitting there watching it. And this is, like, the bit is this much better now because Abby was watching it with me. Because I'd seen him, obviously, multiple times, but I'm sitting there watching it, showing her Sonny for the first time. And that part comes on, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And he just starts going at it, and Abby's just laughing. And then it cuts to where he's just there playing the saxophone in the chair, like... And she's just, like, slowly touching his leg and, like, the saxophone, just listening to the sounds. And then go back to banging. But before they go back to banging, they're just having it. Abby's like, is that us? And I'm like, it can be if you want it to be. And it was just a nice moment that I always think about when I see that scene. Because now I'm like, oh, there's me and Abby. Like when I see the fucking saxophone.
Yep.
And then he comes to Dennis and he's like, Tatiana, tell me a lot about sex, Dennis. Hot sex. Great sex. Dennis, a lot of sex. And then it cuts back to the fucking banging. And it's like, she also tossed me about cold winters in Russia. And more sex. And Charlie just can't get past it. I like Charlie's dynamic that he's growing so much weirder and much more rat-like and cat-like, but like, I also like the fact that they're really playing in on the fact that he really can't read any English.
That's what I...
Like, have you seen the Nikki and whatever episode?
Nikki and whatever.
Yeah, so like Charlie and Frank rent out their apartment.
Oh, yeah.
Where they get the Swedish roommates
and
they do heroin.
Yes.
Dude, what the fuck? That was such a bait. Dude, they're doing it. People think they're losing their touch, and they're like, oh, they're tackling harder subjects.
Oh, yeah.
They're, if anything,
presenting you momentum that's even slower. Because shows that they've done in the past, the momentum is a little faster, but it's still slow always in the beginning. Now it's just extremely slow, and you're like, this is not going to get any bad. And then it just, without warning, takes major leaps for the fucking narrative of getting absolutely terrible. I mean, the way that the fucking episode goes, like, I think it's the first episode.
It is.
Where Mac and Dennis rent out their apartment.
For Airbnb or something.
Yeah, because it's the same episode. And they
Dennis
fucking
wants to get laid.
Yeah. And they try to fucking set up an elaborate Rouge movie, but then they're like, oh, I heard problems. It's like, but why would the husband bring it up? It's
Right.
Like, what if the husband's getting... And then Mac tries to bang the husband, because they don't know that, like, the wife was bringing a husband, so it adds a wrench. And, like,
exactly.
The fact that, like, it becomes the fucking dead son. They're
right.
They're complaining about what they think is an ex.
An ex, like a
and he's like, I can
situation.
be your thing. And it's like, what? And it's like, he filled holes that you could, but I could fill your holes better. And it's all this shit, and it's like, he was our son that died of leukemia. And it's like, wrong track. And they just keep playing the wrong music, and it's like, we're just gonna let you back to the healing, and they just get him out. Like, that is such a major plot twist.
Yeah, no, and I think that's...
Dude, when Frank and Charlie wake up with those girls, and he just like, dude, I don't even know why we're whispering. Dude, when they start talking, the fucking intro line, hey, Frank, I gotta be honest about something. He goes, Charlie, if you tell me that was your finger, I'm gonna be pissed.
I know.
That is such a funny line that is open to so much implication, to so much shit.
Are these guys alive?
Oh my god, where he was like, dude, I don't even know why we're whispering. I saw, Nikki shoot up heroin and what's his name, Toe Spoon. And he goes, what? And he goes, oh yeah, dude. And he just picks up the wrist and just falls.
Yep.
Dude! And then they stand up, dicks out.
Yep.
Ah, cocks out. I'm like, whoa. You don't get to see it.
Hanging
like,
dong.
Just hanging dong, exactly.
I also saw the second episode to that.
Dong. Jesus
where
Christ.
they turn PG-13 to Thunder Gun.
Oh my god, the Thunder Gun episode?
That was really good.
Dude, give me dong or give me death.
Right.
That's such a weird sentence that only works for that kind of fan base.
Yeah.
I love Dee's rationality too. We're actually trying to get a more women lead. She goes, why? He goes, oh, you don't want a woman lead. She goes, no, listen, I don't want I'm already self-conscious enough about my looks. I don't want some beautiful bitch also cracking computer codes and doing crazy shit. Like, I can't do that shit. Like, come on, I don't want to feel worse about myself. Give me some skank that the main character can bang. Yeah, and I can be like, I'm better than her.
But that's how girls operate, dude.
And I'm like, damn, that was some good points, D.
Yeah, dude.
Like, if you really do listen to the gang, they say some really crazily relatable shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just watch The Bachelor.
Give me death. I mean, that's such an iconic line now that, like, I think about that all the time. Like, I think about the earlier seasons a lot. I think about Sunny, like, way too much, I think.
Oh, no.
Because it's just so fucking funny. And I've never, like, one of my favorite instances of the show is an episode they never even did, was there's an image of literally the whole Sunny crew just hanging out on set with the Workaholics crew. Yeah, behind the bar, the whole Workaholics crew is there, except I think Durs, but he might be taking a photo. And
of course.
Yeah. And they're there having a great time, and somebody leaked that photo to, like, the Workaholics fan page, and they were like, oh, what the fuck, like, would you name this episode that we never got if that was going to ever be on the show? What would you name that? And they were doing this, and I got the best rated comment, because I was like, the gang does too many drugs.
Yep.
Yep. What else would they do? What else would they do? What else would they do? Exactly. Adam would just fucking go bonkers. Blake,
you want to see me headbutt this pool table?
Like Dennis just doesn't get it. He goes, I don't get this new weird crowd of kids. And they're just, like, talking shit about each other. And then it camera frames into, like, their version, and it's their version of the camera frame, and it's talking shit about their crew.
Mac.
And it's the gang versus the gang.
Mac is definitely going to try and bang Blake.
They all go after D. and none of the gang understands why any of them want to bang Dee.
Yes.
And they're like, Mama Vache. And it's like, but then like Blake's more into Frank. He goes, what's with you, all weird dude? But then Charlie gets defensive. And he's like, Frank's mine. And he goes, what do you mean mine? Are you guys like banging? And he goes, well, no, he's maybe my dad. And it's like, do you want to explain that at all? He goes, not really. And he goes, I respect it. And like, it's just like, I should write for the show.
You would be good in a writer's room. You're always just fucking
I would be good. Yeah, how do I get them to hear it? I literally make bits out of Always Sunny. You know how I do it. And I don't want to ask him. I gotta ask Dee for help. He literally plays for the Phillies now. He literally sees the Phillies fanatic all the time.
Green Man!
Green Man! What? I literally told him, I was like, tweet out, you want to be the sponsor for Wolf Cola, and you'll get on a Sunny episode.
Yes.
I guarantee it, Dee. And you'd be on the next best show in the fucking world, which is, that show, because the first best show is me.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you forget. It's fine.
I'm a disappointment.
It's if we did it right the first time, we wouldn't be doing this. That's funny as fuck, though. I love Sunny for its versatility and its comedy.
And
and just to be able to even just meet them once as a crew and just be like, just to tell Danny DeVito, tell Charlie Day, tell Melissa McCarthy, tell fucking all of them, literally Glenn, all of them, Mac, everybody, or what's Mac's real name?
That would be something.
I think it might be a Dennis actually, lucky, but I don't think that's right.
No, Glenn, Howerton is Dennis. And Rob.
It's Rob. I couldn't remember. Jesus. But look at us remember their names after a while.
Yeah.
I love them so much. And just to tell them, hey, the two things I watched growing up my whole life were Dave Chappelle sets, The Chappelle Show, his Dave Chappelle movies, and then Always Sunny. Always Sunny was always on.
Oh, yeah.
It was literally always on late at night. And I watched it every single episode.
It's still always on.
I think it just changed me as a person because I was like, they are saying some insane shit now on the TV that I am. And then when the Sunny episode would end, I'm like, that was how that ended? I was taken on this roller coaster and I laughed the whole way, and then it doesn't even feel like that has... I mean, it feels like if you gave them infinite money, their episodes would come out and they would be an hour and a half each.
Dude.
Because they could take it that far because they're that funny.
And they're that, willing to take a risk. D dates a retarded person. Dude, what?
It says D dates a retard. No, it does say D dates a retarded person. Yeah. Because they didn't want to say retard. That's so much funnier. A retarded person.
A retarded person.
That's worse!
It's he was drooling. He takes classes out in the trailer.
Yeah, they talk so much shit, and then he ends up not being retarded.
I think he was retarded.
Yeah, and then eventually, as he leaves, he goes, I don't know if he was retarded. Yeah. The mystery.
He's not retarded. No, he's definitely retarded.
They can't pick him. Because he's like, drive. He goes, a thing somebody who is not retarded would do, D.
Nice house, 2 stories, and
living with mom. Red flags there, Deandra.
Retarded 3, normal 1.
3? Where did you get 3? And then he's he counts them.
Yep.
He goes, that doesn't count. She goes, it absolutely counts. I just like how no matter what she does, Dee's wrong.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
And she's becoming so beautiful in the show and so funny and so smart. And, the fact that what she doesn't realize, and I hope that she does this, is, Dee quits the gang. Because that would be a whole episode of just them not giving a shit and enjoying life. And then Dee just suffering and failing and being, realizing she needs the gang. She's smart with the gang and she's invincible with the gang. But without them, she's nothing.
Right.
And that's such a character dynamic.
Yeah. Well, they already kind of did that with D
and Glenn and or Dennis. Sorry, I say Glenn now. See, now I gotta go back to actual character names. We're confusing the fuck out of anybody who's listening. If you don't watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia, you probably are like, what the fuck is happening to all these people? Most of these people... Yeah. I love the fucking seminar they go to. Where Frank, wears the robe, and they all get sweaty, and Mac picks up Dee, and she comes in just sorta pop, soda pop and shit. And then it's like everyone's giving a shit, and then she just doesn't stop. She goes, bah! She just like going. It's like, dang!
Is that the intervention episode?
No, that's the Time's Up for the gang.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But time's never up for the gang.
No, never.
Dennis literally tries to intervene as much as he can. He's like, guys, our time's coming if we don't ship up. Like, they're going to take us down. You know, we're easy targets. We're weird characters. But then, like, he literally just like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. It doesn't matter. They'll make it through, and they're funny enough to just exist. And, like, I love that he ran the whole seminar, and, like, just a smart TV is what it is. It's smart comedy. It's not comedy that you can just walk into and be like, I get everything. It's like, dude, I didn't. And it's okay not to get it.
I mean,
re-listens are why some things are great.
Yeah.
Give it multiple listens and get more of the show.
And that's the good thing. There's some stuff in the show that's supposed to be taken at face value, and then there's some stuff that's supposed to make you think.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, what the fuck do I think?
What did you think about... I literally spit up the first time I saw it, my soda I was drinking. I was like, I wasn't ready for that. When Hero or Hate Crime comes on.
Yes.
And they go through multiple moderators. Well, not even that. Not that he yells faggot. It's the fact that, and I can't even yell this part, when they're talking shit to Frank and they're trying to prove a point that you shouldn't say any kind of hate word. They're like, all right, well, what would you use for this moderator? And it's a black lady.
Yep.
And he's like, well, and then Dennis is like, we're going on a bad path here, guys. I don't think we should try to, guess any words that, Frank would use for this lady. And then I guess, like, in Charlie's brain, he just chimed in when he guessed the word Frank. That's all he heard. So he was like, and it's like, whoa! Like, he just says the N-word. Yep. And they don't say the N-word until, like, that's season 8 or 9.
Yeah.
They hadn't made an N-word joke since the first episode.
That might be season 12.
The first episode, they say the N-word.
Oh, yeah, the gang goes black.
No.
Or the gang...
No, the very first episode is just, shit.
No.
The gang becomes a gay bar. Is the very first episode of the show. That's the very first episode of the show, because Dee brings in a black guy, and they think he's going to rob the place. Yeah. But it's actually her friend, and it's really awkward. Then they start talking, and he's like, yeah, we got niggas hanging from rafters.
Yeah,
which is fine, but then give, like, a little bit of time later, he's at the fucking... No, he's at the coffee shop talking, and then Charlie's trying to retell that story, but because Charlie's retarded, which you don't know until you've watched many seasons, he literally says they had N-words hanging from rafters, because he keeps using the air quotes. He's just dumb, and he quotes it like a white guy would quote it, and the waitress hears him, and I think that starts the hate.
Yeah, I
mean, dude, that's great writing.
Yeah.
That's genius character modeling, to where a show that is good when you first watch it multiple seasons in, and then when you're multiple seasons in, starting from the beginning, and now you understand more things. It's a show that keeps getting better no matter what you do, and that's crazy. And that's what I try to make this show: have great rants or not, and have good music, and then just have it be something that you can always just come back to and chime in and fucking always be with. If you're really alone and you need conversation and you want banter and to feel like you're part of the fucking conversation, America or person at home listening with earbuds, regretting not masturbating and going to bed instead of listening to this shit show.
Never regret that.
Never regret. What do you think about living next to this fucking Air Force place? Like, I'm not trying to shit on Air Force, but I don't like the fact that they have the big ass, like, every morning. I'm good. I didn't enlist. I didn't want the fucking horn treatment. I want to sleep in, but I want my windows open. You know what I mean? Second, I don't care about the fucking jets and helicopters and all that and planes like landing and going, because I think it's cool as fuck to look at them. And I think it's awesome. But from a sound engineering standpoint, damn it at you if you don't provide background noise like a fucking MF. And I get the right to complain from a sound engineer standpoint. It's weird that I have to put myself in that kind of position to even say something like that. Like, people are like, how dare you say something bad about the Air Force? Okay, not everything is perfect. It's pretty good.
It's just about
but you know what? You're creating a lot of public sound, And for somebody who does recordings, that sucks.
Just airplanes at that point.
Yeah.
Shit.
But, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's fun to complain about anything, because everybody acts like you can't make fun of them and they're impervious to a joke.
That's what I hate, dude.
Dude, I can make fun of the Air Force. I can make fun of religion. I can make fun of Tom Hanks.
You can make fun of anything.
I make fun of Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is the fucking...
Coronavirus, bro.
Oh my god. I cannot believe he tested positive. I'm like, what if he dies?
He might.
But then here's my thing.
How old is he?
Well, I don't even think it's about that. He has good health. He's a fucking celebrity. You know, he probably spends a little extra money to get better fruits. He probably has a perfectly healthy body. And my favorite meme about the coronavirus is the fucking South Park frame where he's taking care of the flu, just the flu he got from and the Native Americans are helping him, and he's like, "Stop! There's only a 98% chance I'll live." And it's like, wow, that's kind of like almost the coronavirus because it's not as bad as people think.
No.
I'm not going to be one of those shows that helps hype up the fucking scare, even though this is going to be like 14 weeks after, so by that point, either people are dying.
No.
People are dying from it, and I need to re-edit this, and like, we're pooping out our guts, and people are going to be like, how can he say this? This is also dated, so if you don't see that, fuck you.
Yeah.
Because I posted the dates with the episodes, because I also don't like to do the show out of order and post them out of order of how I do them. So everything's got to be when I record them. Because that makes you feel like you're part of the show.
Yeah.
And you're part of the ride of weird. And then if you go back, it makes sense because you'll listen through and you'll be like... Not that anyone, I think, is actually listening through every fucking episode of this show. Because why would you? It is potentially a dog fart on fire in a jar that somebody's kept for years. And then you've opened it and it's like, this isn't... Surely the fire... For some reason they're in their head like, surely the fire killed out all the fart smell. Nope, no. You just created an ashy fart smell.
Yeah.
Ashy fart smells brought to you by Brighton Jones. It's a new candle smell I'm working on, Owen. I don't think you'll like it.
I'm gonna
I've
light
got you
it.
one in the mail.
I'm gonna light it when I fuck.
When I fuck, I'm gonna put that on, and she's like, oh, God, what the fuck is happening?
She's gonna know what's going down.
She won't. She'll be like, what the fuck am I smelling? Did you set a dog on fire and fucking did it shit its brains out while that happened? Because this is what it smells like. And you'll be like, nah, baby, I'm setting the mood. It's like, for what? We're two homeless people in a fucking dumpster?
What?
Anal. That's a hard subject to bring up.
I know. It was very
Especially
easy.
if you have a girlfriend who likes to make jokes as much as Abby does. Because I'll be like, yo... Period week, you know what that means? And Abby being Abby, she goes, blowjob week? Being a fucking... Because she's a good sport. She'll joke around with me. Right. She's a good sport.
Good kind of
I love that. And she'll go, blowjob week? I'm like, no, anal week. She goes, I don't know. Because we're dampered. It's not bad. But the funniness of it, she goes, all right. You can fuck my ass if I can fuck yours. Ooh. And I'm like, ooh, Abby, ooh.
I can take a pinky.
This is yeah, I was like, what? I was like, well, what are we talking? She goes, I want to get a strap on.
No way,
Abby,
dude.
No, we don't even have a strap on. She goes, all right. Dildo. And I'm like, no! Not a big-ass dildo. No big-ass dildos and asses. No! No thank you.
Wait, so hold up. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But going back to the St. Patty's Day story...
Tell me.
The thought that brought this up was...
Full circle. We love those jokes.
At that party, a girl told me and my buddies that we should try... fingering our butts.
Well, that's fine, but not your own butts.
No, just because that's where the male, like...
Not that I want you to finger each other's butts. I just meant, you're not really... I'm not an advocate of finger my own butt, but if Abby's like, yeah, if her only requirement is to finger my ass while I get a blowjob or something, I'll be like, fuck yeah, dig in. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. It's fine. That's where your G-spot is as a dude. Don't act like it's not. Don't get so weird about it that you can't talk about sexuality.
Number 2 reason I brought that up is because I promised that I would bring up the kernels, the curdling that the Bailey... okay? I'm sorry.
Oh, you're first circling into this?
Yeah. So, just get ready.
Okay.
So, we were doing Irish car bombs. And there were
I love that name.
many
Irish car bombs.
Yeah. And my buddy just finished 40 hands, and he's on like his 4th or 5th Irish car bomb.
Right.
And he chugs it down, puts it down. There's nobody really around anymore watching because...
At this point, it's just a guy drinking a lot of
Exactly. Well, I was watching now.
Of course
He
you
picks up an empty glass.
Yep.
Nonchalantly pukes it up.
Is it a clear glass or plastic cup?
Red Solo cup.
Alright, so at least you're not seeing it initially.
Yes, exactly. There's about maybe a centimeter. It was like.
Oh God!
So it was incognito.
That was so much more realistic.
Sets it back on the table.
Ah!
Hold up.
No!
Yeah.
What are you about to tell me?
So, with all these fucking things laying around, there's a bunch of white curdleization up on top. Guinness is a brown beer. Can you imagine what it looks like?
Yeah.
Somebody picks one up.
No!
Takes a drink.
No!
And pukes all over the table. Yeah.
That's so
they
bad.
drank his puke cup, dude.
Oh my God, that actually got me for a second. And this is a show that will make you barf.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that killed me. No, that should be like a story that you scare sinners into going to church. And these fornicators are drinking barf from party cups, and it's like, oh. That's a story that curls hair, let alone toes.
Yeah, dude. It was grotesque.
You're just there.
Oh, yeah.
Not saying a fucking word.
Nah.
They say not saying things is as bad as doing a bad thing, Owen.
Well, there's nothing I could have done.
That's like seeing somebody being like, man, I have AIDS, but I still want to have fun, so I'm glad I'm here. And he's like talking about having AIDS. And then he just cuts himself open, and he's like, oh man, Bloody Marys, ha ha. And leaves the cup there, and somebody's like, oh my God, I love Bloody Marys. And goes for it, and you're just like, I'm about to watch somebody get AIDS. And you're just like, I'm not a part of this. I'm not going to save this woman's life forever.
But at that
it would be awesome for you to be like, whack! You had AIDS, ma'am.
Across the room. If I would have yelled, nothing would have even gotten him. It was like...
I'm imagining you're like right there.
No. I was like...
So there's some distance between you.
Yeah, so I was watching
you're
my
the
buddy...
worst person in the world for watching this, though.
I was just watching...
You're like, I can't believe I'm about to see this.
Oh, I told him. I told him straight up. They were playing Beer Die, and I was watching them,
literally
and
shook all of my bones.
I saw somebody go over to the table, and it caught my eye.
You're like,
I was like,
this is happening.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. And then just straight up picked it up, and before I could even comprehend...
How many gulps do you think she got?
One. She got it up to the nose, on the lips, probably felt the thickness, and like...
The thickness?
Just barfed all over.
Just fucking barfed all over.
Because all you've had that day is fucking 240s and Irish car bombs. Fucking nasty.
Nasty. I love the accent we're doing. What do you think is the worst thing somebody can do at a party? I don't think barfing's that bad. It's just where you barf. But like, what's the worst thing somebody does at a party? I think
probably damage somebody else's property. I know somebody
that happens, and it depends how that happens. If it happens by accident, accidents are accidents.
Well,
but if it happens on purpose, yes. But I'm more saying like, what's a party killer?
Well,
what kills a party? Besides this conversation,
probably
I'm kidding.
Probably spilling red wine on carpet.
That feels a little too cinematic. Like a realistic party you're going to. Nobody's having.
Oh, I've had a wine night. That ended very badly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did it?
Oh, yeah.
How did that end?
That ended with... No, so I used to have long hair about down to my...
You should grow your hair back out.
Scapula.
I'm doing it!
I know.
You should join me.
Oh, I've been there.
It's nice, though.
I don't want it again. Oh. No, I don't want it again.
Does it slow you down in the water?
No. Just in life. No, just kidding. So I forget where I was. Oh yeah, so one night I ended up puking for like 5 hours at my girlfriend's place.
Wine drunk is different because people think, oh, I drink alcohol, I can just take a bunch of wine. No, you have to sip wine.
Dude, I split...
you probably drank wine.
I split a box of wine with one other dude.
Jesus Christ.
And I slapped the bag a bunch, and I don't remember how I got anywhere. My girlfriend was about to call the fucking ambulance. Dude, it was bad. And when I was, like, she would, like, peek in and check on me sometimes, and my head was literally, she said...
Do you have glasses on?
No.
Okay,
but
good.
My hair was not up in a ponytail. She said that my head was literally resting on the inside part, like the dry inside part of where the toilet was, and my hair was just in the pukey water.
Yeah, girls don't think about that. We always hold your hair back, but for us long-haired guys, where's the fucking favor? Put our hair in a ponytail.
Yeah, well...
Good girlfriends will do that, but like,
no
here,
respect.
honey, ponytail, there, go after it.
I ain't get no respect.
No respect. So, oh god, yeah, I mean, wine drunks are different. I mean, they creep up on you pretty bad.
What do you think the biggest party foul is?
I think one of the best things that can happen at a party is a girl takes her tits out. I think one of the worst things that can happen at a party is a guy takes his cock out.
Shit, that's when the party starts.
No! That's not when the party starts! Nobody wants to see a random cock. Why? Because it's a recipe for disaster. The guy's gonna show his cock. I guarantee one person drunk somebody's gonna be like, Golden Ear! What? And he's just starting the fucking... You wanted your dick out, dude. People are gonna make fun of you. Like,
well, what? Yeah.
Unless you're getting a fat ass blowjob from a model, it's not time.
Imagine
not time.
If it was a hooded bandit, though. An uncircumcised penis.
Oh, you're talking. I thought that's what you were referencing. I was hoping that's what you were referencing.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay. I mean, if anything, I'd first point it out and just be like, whoa, I've never seen...
Is that an alien?
Yeah, I've never seen one in person. But, like, a lot of people say that it's better.
Yeah, I've heard that, too. I kind of feel left out.
Yeah, because once you get it gone, you can't... But they say it's way worse to get it off as an adult. That's why they did it as a kid. But there's actually not really medical evidence to say one way or the other if you should do it. That's what's funny. There's not medical evidence that says you should get it, and there's not medical evidence that says you should not get it.
It's just sanitary.
Penn and Teller... Well, no, not really. Penn and Teller did a whole big-ass thing about it, and he said... You will not get STDs any better or worse without having it. You will not.
No, not STDs.
Well, I just piss.
Just like sanitation, like schmet.
People are like, there's more nerve endings in it. So you would have better comes. But my thing is like, I don't know. Even though your dick is erect when it's fucking gonna blast, like I'd be worried about. Like, at the last minute, you're just with a bitch of a girl, and she's just like, trash bag, and she just closes the skin set, and you just, and you just fill yourself like a balloon. Like, ah!
Like you got protection?
You fill up like a fucking sphere.
Give me that stapler over there.
And that's how monkeys did it. They, like, pinch, and they're like, and then, like, all right, they all just get spread eagle on the floor, and he just pops the balloon, and it's just like, and he just, like, tries to get splatter cum distance. I feel like you have to get it in them. I feel like the trickle effect doesn't... Remember one time I had a girlfriend in the past, so we won't name names because I've had a few, so it'll keep the story exciting. One time, we were just so new to sex, wasn't really good at it, and I remember we were banging, and we, like, stopped, and I remember, like, didn't come in her... I don't even know if I came, like... even in a couple seconds of pulling out of her. Like, I stopped within a lot of breaking distance, if that makes sense. Because I'm not trying to have a kid.
You're cautious.
Yeah. So, I do that, and I remember, like, accidentally dripping a little bit of cum. Like, once I was done and I was moving, I dripped a little bit on her, like, inner thigh right here.
A little bit of dog water.
Jesus Christ. And as that happens, for some reason, both of our brains were convinced she was pregnant. Nice. And I made her go with me. Like, I paid for it, but I was like, you have to take a plan B. Yeah. I was like, I just don't even want to fucking risk it. And it freaked us out because we didn't know a plan B, like, fucks up your period cycle.
Oh, yeah.
So when she took it, it fucked up her period cycle. So we were convinced now she's pregnant because she didn't have a period. And we were
Jesus
like,
Christ.
fuck, what do we do? So we were like, oh, I don't even know. So we're just going through depressive states of like, oh, she's pregnant, she's not.
I guess we'll have to do anal now.
It was such a big issue. But, like, it was so funny that, like, and it wasn't even close to vagina. Like, it was pretty good distance away from thigh where it dripped. And I just remember Googling ridiculous shit like, can you get pregnant from dripping? And they were like, dripping?
Dripping?
Google's like, what do you mean by dripping? And I'm like, all right, delete. Can you get pregnant from, like, cum on the lips at Max? I remember going at Max. The at Max part, Google was like, Mad Max Fury Road? And it's like, that's not at all what I'm asking about.
Right, and to answer your question, you can come on a vagina, and you will not get pregnant.
Well, that's nice to know, because a piece of me was like, that's why there's a rod. It's for insertion.
Yeah,
it's for, you have to get... But also, me being me, I'm like, we only come on tits or backs in this family. We're not about pregnancies. We don't even play in this fucking house. All right, you'll maybe came... If you want a load inside of you, best you're getting is the fucking ass, because you won't swallow. Yep. So we're left with one route. I love those debates.
I'll blow a load on an ass.
I'll blow a load on an ass. Your ass, my ass, whoever's ass, just an ass. No, I make a joke that what's better, tits or ass?
Ass, all the way.
No, tits. Why? Fat ass, cool. Small ass, little boy. Big tits, cool. Little tits, not a problem. Why? Still got nipples. There's nipple play still involved. You can suck on those nipples. My favorite argument is when my buddy was like, hold on, that doesn't make sense, because little boys have nipples. And it's like, oh, you think about little boys now? And they're like, well, no. And it's like, it's just a not winning example of asses versus tits.
You know, I thought there was kind of like an anti-joke.
But there was...
No. I thought it was like, when you were telling it was go ahead, never mind.
No, you're good. If there was little asses, though, like, I can't do much with that. I can't play with that. But even if there's little tits, like, the point of that joke is to say that if there's a little ass, I can't do much with it. But if there's little tits, I can still suck on I can still suck on your nips, baby. You know what I mean? I ain't A cups to F's. We're all friends here.
Exactly. Pancakes to dimes, baby.
Pancakes to dimes, baby. That's funny. I have to make sure I put your last name for this episode, because I had an Owen on the show already who was the camera guy for the Blue Jackets.
Oh.
Yeah, but I didn't put his last name.
I feel like a lesser than.
No, you're after Dee Dee. You should feel better.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, this will be after Dee Dee's episode, too. I keep using that as a reference, like everybody should just constantly... Because I have other episodes, like my other brother Jaron did the episode right after that one, and then I do an episode before that that's already been on with my other brother Frank, and I'm trying to get my other brothers, at least Eddie and JC on the show, but they're hard to nab. I might get Sal or Robert on, but they're a little busy. And then I want to see if Billy will do it, because I think that would be fucking funny to get an audio of just being like, yeah, man, we just like, Jesus Christ, Billy, this was a mistake. And we're only 2 minutes in. No, I would have Billy on if he wanted to be on. I would have Billy's mom on if Billy's mom would come on my show, because we would just drink Hennessy, get fucked up, and talk about bullshit. Like, yeah, man, I'm just and I'm like, oh yes, more Mississippi. More Mississippi. Well, I mean, is there anything else you want to talk about? I mean, I feel like this is a good show, and I feel like this is a good little rounding off point, because I know you have to go at some point, and I'll give you a little leeway time. Is there anything you want to ask me before the show outs? Any last minute questions you think that would be funny to point out or ask while you've got the stage?
All right. If you were we'll say video game or TV character, animated character, and you could fuck one other animated character, who would you be and who would you fuck?
Oh my god, this answer's so easy.
Oh, what?
Yeah, All Might.
Okay.
I would be All Might.
Got that.
Huge ass cock.
How you
gotta be.
Okay,
well, I'm not talking little form All Might where he's like a skeleton. I'm talking All Might in his big breath. Because, all of his muscles are expanding. He's going to have a big ass dick.
Or it doesn't expand at all.
It doesn't matter for me, honestly.
That's true.
Just having the muscles will be enough to hold up the chick. All right?
And having,
with ease. So I'll just take my own dick. I'm fine with my package. I mean, I'll just take my own package. I don't even need a fucking supplementary fucking insurance policy for this. I like my coverage, is what I'm saying. If that joke flew over your head.
You got a small dick.
And then the character, easy, Midnight. From fucking My Hero.
My Hero?
Yeah,
Nice.
because like I love a lot of the girls from My Hero, but like Midnight like has a flogging. She's gonna do some kinky weird shit with me.
Dude, yeah.
That's all that it's about. This is an easy question.
Yeah. Dude, if we're talking My Hero, like...
He's like, we're talking My Hero? We'll do a third break. We'll do another... He's like, I'll stay. I'll call off all my other plans.
No, it's weird thinking about that, because, like, it's high school. But Momo, she hot.
Momo, she be hot. I like that. Because her whole quirk works by creating matter out of her skin surface. So she has to sometimes expose skin to, like, create a surface area. And sometimes it's easier just to work on your chest because you also want to feel the vision of what you're working with. And, like...
They had to make her chest big.
She just happens to have big-ass titties. It'd be funny... Well, my defense is if she had small titties, it'd be harder for her to move and expand because it'd be harder to you would eventually just have to have, like, tape on the nipples. But with big titties, you can just kind of part the Red Seas and move lefty, its own way, and righty in its other way.
Just
and you're like, hey, move your tits out of the way. And it's like, yeah, I got this. Like,
I need a baseball
spread them!
Good. I need something that spreads a VCR player.
Yeah. It's funny. I'd like to imagine when she is, like, grown, and she's, like, with whoever.
Oh, I like to imagine.
And they're going to have a kid, and they're trying to raise, like, a super quirk kid. And she is, like... at some point breastfeeding, and then she gets the idea of like in the bedroom later. She's like, I can make anything. And he's like, okay. And she just thinks it'd be funny. He'd be like, she's like, can you give me some orange juice? She goes, better. And she just learns orange juice. She just,
nice.
I mean, she's like, I'm like a soda fountain. What do you want? Root beer out of the left and fucking rum out of the right. Yeah, alcohol's a very simple chemical.
All right, this will be our last thing. But speaking of the super quirked kids. What do you think about that topic?
What do you think your quirk would be?
I don't know.
Abby would have a slime quirk.
Slime?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because of...
I would have a smoke quirk. I would turn into smoke. I would, like, kind of be like how Captain Smoker is in One Piece.
Okay.
I would just do that. I would just have his devil fruit, honestly. And then I could just think of so many other cool things you could do with smoke that could, like, make my quirk very versatile. Because that's a hard person to hit if you can't hit them through just smoke. And, like, I could get little places and, like, go little places and always have, like, a cigar on me. That'd be a bad as fuck outfit. That or a comedy-based quirk, kind of like the one...
Open mic or whatever.
Yeah, the one, like, comedy hero that Midoriya gooks over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think...
Rumble! That would be, like, my style. I'd stay on, like, a JoJo's character.
I like Master B from Naruto. He's the eighth tail.
Killer B?
Killer B, yeah. That's what
yeah,
it is.
So my friends have been trying to push me to watch Naruto only to watch more of him because they're like, dude, you would just be like Killer B. I'm like, why? He goes, because he tries to rap everything.
Dude, he's awesome.
And it's like, what?
No, you need to watch in English. It's fucking good.
Do they have it actually subbed, like, professionally, or is it just, like, people sub it?
It's
like,
fairly, most of it's professional. Some of the filler isn't, but you don't.
Well, it's been around long enough where I imagine it probably got some or most sub, because there's just a lot of episodes for it. But I feel like once you get in, like, the recording mood and you get, like, a base amount of people to do it, I feel like at some point you could just really crank out episodes. Like, if you had a staff on call for voice recordings, you could be like, Mike, do, like, these 40 pages. And those 40 pages could end up being all your lines for, like, the whole season.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, fuck.
Right. No, but I would have a water-based quirk, like a water sword.
Yeah,
water
you swim. Water manipulation.
Yeah,
like the
water whips, all that kind of shit. Where I can fucking
maybe you can't. Maybe here's the thing: you can't make water, but you can manipulate it. So,
right.
In that sense, your costume is just like vials of water, but maybe you can't expand it. So you can stretch the water, but you can't really, like, expand the water. And then, like, your big ultimate is, like, an atom bomb.
Well, the other thing
because you
is...
separate the atoms in the water.
There's pipes underwater, too. Or underland too.
That's a good. Yeah, that's a good.
So I could even have that
Do you think
incorporated
the
all the way
pressure would be
throughout the
enough
city.
to like burst through the fucking? Or
No,
would you
I
have to go
couldn't-
through like a manhole?
Well, I could have my own. Like,
We're painting a
fucking-
very nice picture for people at home.
Well, yeah,
if they can imagine this.
I'm gonna have my own sort of water fountain spouts, like in each city or
I just
wherever
imagine you have like
am.
water grenades and like tubes of water that run amongst your body.
Yeah,
and you have like
for sure.
multiple access points where it can come out.
Like a backpack, maybe.
Yeah, and you have like tubes of water all over you, so
Yeah.
like you can always have water like all around you, and I think that'd be kind of a cool quirk. I like Bakugo's quirk, the idea of sweating nitroglycerin.
Oh,
the
yeah.
more you move, the more you sweat, and like that's a very interesting.
Useful. It's useful.
Like to have infinite nitroglycerin is very fucking. That would be in a very explosive quirk that could match like all for one, and like
It's almost like the more he works, the better he gets. The harder he goes, the longer the fight is.
And I love Todoroki. His whole concept of
dude.
half fire, half water, or half ice, and like combining those to make devastating attacks and doing crazy shit with that.
I really like Dark Shadow.
Dark Shadow is an interesting example of presenting a character that uses darkness or shadows and that is not a villain.
Right.
Because a lot of the time, those powers are reserved for like the main villains or baddies.
Right.
But like, and Black Clover does this too. They implement darkness and black and whatever into like blackness powers and like, you know,
They do that in
negativity
Naruto, yeah.
and like all this stuff like shadows and fear and all and whatever into good guys, because it should show that anybody can have any quality, and that's what you should really think about, is that your enemies can have your exact same qualities or you can have theirs, and that makes you a little more relatable and help understand your opponent maybe.
Yep.
And I think that's a nice little takeaway. Well, this has been the Disappointing Radio Show. We rabbit holed down some anime.
Yeah.
I knew we would at some point. I guess next we'll have you and Trev together.
Oh,
Barf
yeah.
Boy and Owen will be reunited on the Disappointing Radio Show. You guys know each other, so it's not like you'll fucking see each other a ton before that, so
True.
it doesn't matter. I had fun.
I had a lot of fun. Thank you for having me.
Enjoy the last culture shock for everybody listening at home, and we will catch you next time off with my bean.
Catch you on the flippity flop.
Please enjoy this last culture shock break. The first one is going to be a very country-y vibe, because again, I think this episode should have a very unique blend of different songs, because this is a very unique individual. So please enjoy White Man's World by Jason Isbell in the 400 unit. Hopefully it leaves you woke-minded like I have been, or at least I know me and Owen's conversation was.
I'm a white man living in a white man's world. Under our roof is a baby girl. I thought this world could be hers one day, but her mama knew better. I'm a white man living in a white man's town. Wanna take a shot of cocaine and burn it down. Mama wants to change that Nashville sound, but they're never gonna let her. There's no such thing as someone else's war. Your creature comforts aren't the only things worth fighting for. Still breathing, it's not too late. We're all carrying one great burden, sharing one fate. I'm a white man living on a white man's street. I got the bones of the red man under my feet. The highway runs through the burial grounds, past the oceans of cotton. I'm a white man looking in a black man's eyes, wishing I'd never been one of the guys who pretended not to hear another white man show. Old times ain't forgotten. Think the man upstairs must have took a vacation. I still have faith, but I don't know why. Maybe it's the fire in my little girl's eyes. Maybe it's the fire in my little girl's eyes.
While I am no longer the biggest fan of churches, I do like my occasional song that references it because it does encapsulate the feeling of an individual very well. So please enjoy Shooter Jennings, the son of the late and great Waylon Jennings. I'm sorry, rest in peace, the great Waylon Jennings. Owen, if you're listening, I hope this song connects with you because we are different individuals and we belong differently in the world. Never forget that, swimmer boy, and swim into this fucking hot jam, motherfucker. Please enjoy.
Small town wild woman, where's your mama now? Working double shifts at the new bank in town, with a crack in her smile while you sleep on the ground. On the streets of the city, she died downtown. Shades and hues, city born blues, cranking major moves on the radio now. Got nothing to lose. Charles Buck in the blues. Got a high ride, what you choose, all the way down. Big city woman, look at what you become. So far from where you started, ain't you the lucky one? With that rainbow of glass that sits on your hand, can you see the future? Will you see the promised land? Shades and hues, city born blues, cranking major moves on the radio now. Got nothing to lose. Charles Buck in the blues. Got a high ride, what you choose.